So here's what confuses me.
Okay.
So we were going to start with Pubert, and there's no Pubert.
Yes.
So
So we just won't start with Pubert.
Yeah, we don't really have a choice. Yeah, that was kind of ruled out for us. Him not being here. It's
All right.
there.
So while we wait for Pubert, I'm gonna pull these gloves out of my bag and I'm just going to spend some time with them.
Okay, so maybe we'll start the session before you are doing things in the session.
I
Um.
also need to spend time with things, so.
Oh shit. Yep, you do. You do.
So we're just in
All
the
right.
corner looking at stuff.
You can't. You guys can
I just
do it in
walk
a
away.
second here. Let's start up. There were a bunch of things that happened last session. Where CJ's not back yet, so let's give her a second. But there were a bunch of things that happened in the last session. Lots of social interactions and lots of little pieces of information spread out and about. The party is now that I got you almost here. I will bring you back over to the old Tresnadar Manor.
fuck.
That that's not Chesnadar Manor.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, I showed up at the end.
Yep. I even put Brad behind with you.
Brad.
Yep. Brad, the guard, the one who was kind of gung ho about you guys as heroes. He was like, "Oh yeah, Sparkle Gem's in there, or Sparkle Motion's in there."
Sparkly motion.
hmm So, so there were a bunch of those things that happened. A lot of things that have happened over the morning and in the evening last night happened in happened when you guys were apart from each other. So you are all about to be back together with each other. I don't know if this is where you all decide that you want to discuss things, but we were going to start the session with Sildar asking, is there anything else that I can help you all with? And I know we all had some general ideas, and we could collectively, real quick, talk about what we think Pubert would want to be talking about here, since he's not with us. If you'd like to do, I'm down with that because I have an idea of what I think Pubert would do. I'm sure each one of you has a different, a different perspective on that character. So maybe collectively we could say like, here's what Pubert would do. Godwald, I know you had an opinion about this, so would you like to tell me what you think?
I recall that Pubert was the one who found some residue of explosives at the goblin fight and the last thing we were talking about last week was that the goblins were becoming more dangerous, and that's why the bounty went up, and why
Yep.
those two got more money than us for bringing in the person we've been tracking down for at this point 3 years.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. But so yes, the
In one
goblins.
night.
Right. Well, there was an open bounty put on any goblin because they have become a threat in the area, and I would say that part of the reason why we would talk about the increased amount of money that the Lord's Alliance is offering for uh, for goblins is very much from uh, some of this discussion, right? Like, so this sitting here and people are talking about like, yeah, there was explosion in the side of the house. They have bombs. They're a bigger threat. Sildar feels Sildar feels like, okay, this is reason why this and the fact that they're having another attack directly on the town, not just trying to pick off weak-looking travelers on the Triboard Trail, but they're actually coming here is why they've given more money. He did talk about how there was an attack in the spring this year, and that is where that standing bounty came from. It's because they have experienced an attack similar to this.
Okay, are we all ready?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
starting.
we're in it. We're doing it. We're doing it. So I would, from my point of view, I would think one of the things that I think Pubert would want to say is, and this is kind of a toss up, is I feel like there's part of him that would be like, yeah, no, that black spider guy is totally dead, and I witnessed his death. I'm a red knight of the Lord's Alliance, and I give my word as a red knife that you know that he is indeed dead, and that we should accept these things as it. Now, I feel like I would want to give Pubert some charisma rolls on with Sildar to see if that could then be acceptable, and you guys might be able to collect that bounty for killing him.
I mean,
That makes sense.
too bad
And
we
I
don't have
approve
him
of it.
alive.
Yes, alive, he was worth 1,000 gold.
Alive, he was also a wizard and a pain in the ass to transport. So I think he's better dead.
Sorry, I crushed his chest with my horse hooves.
He's definitely very dead. As are most people that encounter sparkle motion. So
All
We're
right.
murder hobos. It's our thing.
I should say most creatures. If you look at like the balance of creatures you encounter, I feel like at least 50% of them end up dead.
It depends on the creature and how much of an asshole they are.
Oh, Droop's still alive. We still have a Goblin King on our hands.
Yeah, and that beholder guy was a dick, but he's still alive. Not beholder, but specter.
So what I'll do right now is I'm gonna roll 2d20, so advantage for Pubert to try to convince Sildar as a member and even though it's the lowest rank, the ranking member of the Lord's Alliance, if he can successfully convince Sildar.
That's a +6.
And I'm scrolled all the way to the top of the chat for some reason.
So that's 13 plus 6 is 19.
19. So between his rank, working with Sildar in the past, knowing it, being elevated to that rank, yeah, he'll give you guys the 200 gold for black staffs. He'll accept the armor and the staff as evidence.
Did we start the stream?
Trade you that for 200
Mhm.
gold.
Yeah, the stream's been up for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, so I'll reach out my hand to accept the gold.
Yeah.
So I'll just put
Okay.
that with the rest of it.
Put that in your side notes, and then in this moment, after that, as that conversation ends, Talison's is when Brad escorts you guys up over to it, and you come up into the door. And he's Sildar, one more visitor. And Sildar, it's like, oh, it's like you're all here, except for Sparkle Gem. It's like it's so good to see you all. I hope everyone's safe. I hope she's safe. Did she make it back from Wave Echo?
Yeah, she has other business she's attending to currently. But yeah, she's safe. We made it back.
Taliesin just kind of shrugs. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that everyone's safe, especially after the danger you told me about that happened there. That the black spider was attacking. It's so fortunate that you were there, and that's in that moment. But is there anything else that I can help you with here today? I'm glad to pay more bounties if you have them to turn in. I do believe you guys actually wanted to know more about which Lord's Alliance bounties there were. Not there are the 7 gold per goblin for proof of goblin dead.
I want to pipe up and just say, like, so I was speaking. I ran into actually, Jerk. You were there with me for a moment. I went back and I ran into the travelers that helped us get back here. Get back to town not that long ago. They seem to believe that they would be able to clear whatever necromantic magic is in Wave Echo Cave. They did seem to. They were trying to steal the whole deal out from under us, the like 10%.
No, I don't think so. I think that's an exaggeration, but
That's not how I took that. But I'd say that we should go back with them and finish up that job there. Shouldn't take too long.
And I'll tell Sildar, like, if you have any members that might be willing to come help us, we could always use a hand. It would definitely promote safety in the village, that's for sure, too. So it might be, part of your duty as a knight of the Lord's Alliance to give us some men.
he looks over you and he goes, "You're the," he's like, "You're the most capable, equipped people that I believe I will ever see pass through Phandalin. I can't think of anyone better than the group of you to go and to take care of any dangers that may still somehow be in the mine." Interesting. After all those years, there's still danger in the mine.
So Jerk
And
just kind of shrugs and
Gundren never
says,
said anything.
it was worth a try.
So odd. I mean, literally, you guys are the
I'm fine with
exactly
going back. I'm
He's
gonna
not going
need.
to send a farmer with you with a stick, like as you guys are like.
I'm gonna
gilded
need
in
some new
and
armor.
magic and everything.
You know what? That's one fireball shield.
I'm gonna need some new armor. But I'm willing to go back
He looks.
and finish the job.
Oh no, I didn't say that out loud.
Oh yeah.
Gotta say, out of character, man.
So, but yeah, he's just kind of listening to see if there is any more that you have to do. It's like for all your trouble and all your efforts, you're more than welcome to use our, to stay here and as a base of operations that you might need for all the good you've done the town.
Ooh.
The barracks are, mostly filled with the other knights that are here, but there's plenty of room over in some of the storerooms or the crypt.
I'm
Feel
gonna.
welcome to stay over by the fountain.
Jerk would like to go to the crypt just to look around, and then he's gonna find a corner and sit and look at his gloves and just stare intently at them for about an hour.
Okay, so Jerk wanders off in the direction of where he remembered the crypt to be.
I'm assuming they're down here somewhere. This looks like a
The
crypt area.
You don't see the coffins. I mean,
Oh wait,
that's why I moved you over there. But then you moved yourself away for some reason.
my dude never disappeared on my screen.
I moved him here.
Oh, there he is.
Whoop. Yep. And then he got moved.
Okay.
Anyways, so Jerk disappears. He wanders off. You guys are kind of standing in Sildar's office, which used to be Glassstaff's quarters, which used to just be a basement of the Tresnadar home.
Well, that's about all I had to tell you guys. Is anybody willing to come back with me? I'm gonna at least go back and finish the job.
I mean, we all agreed to that, I thought.
Well, I don't know.
We talked about it, and then there was a crisis, and this was part of the crisis.
What?
Yeah,
What crisis?
the barn on fire.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm just letting you know that there's people who are willing to help, and they are confident that they can fix whatever problem is there, and maybe it will fix me, or at least the money will allow me to return my skin and arms.
Wait, what happened to your arms?
They're invisible.
Oh, do you want help with that?
Yes.
You could have said something this whole time.
You could have done something knowing that I have invisible arms.
It happened in a combat where I wasn't there, and then you hit it for the entire several days since.
Oh, okay.
Azita's just going to like shake her head and leave the room because all she sees is two boys arguing like brothers.
Godwald wouldn't know off the top of his head what causes them, but Taliesin could talk about it.
Like, have you had that diagnosed, or?
Yes, I had this diagnosed. Do you remember? I wrote this down. I did write it down. Oriana. Do you remember Oriana? She was with the group that helped us come back after Old Owl Well.
Oh, was that the same people that happened with the eye that one time?
Yes.
Yeah, they
the
seemed
very same.
Yeah, seems nice.
I brought Gundren to them. They want to help us. She diagnosed this and said that she could cure it, but it was quite expensive. I don't currently have the money, but she said that this was a curse.
Oh, I could fix that.
You think you could fix both?
Yeah, at once.
Can you please?
Okay. I would like to cast Remove Curse on Taliesin.
Yeah, if you guys find a space in a room nearby to do the necessary ritual, or is it a magical spell that you?
It's a 3rd level spell that I can only do now as a cleric 5.
All right. So
I'll
you have
go
the
into this
ability. Yeah, so you have the ability to do that. Then there's the two of you who do it. Brad went off. He's gonna go guard the prisoner over there. Yeah. Before you guys walk out of that room, as far as Godwald and Pubert go, Sildar does mention, now having heard a bit more about the incident, and saying, like, if the goblins have increased their numbers, maybe it would be worthwhile to go check out some of their old haunts, like perhaps the cave where you rescued me from, or that Cragmaw Castle might give you some leads as to where they are. Maybe even be a place that they are in.
What's all this talk about goblins? We don't know anything about goblins.
I'll just start putting my name on the door. Like, well, thank you. We will keep that in mind. We know those. We do know those caves, and so.
It sends a suggestion. So you guys go out over there.
So if
Novak, can you tell me, or do you have to type it to me? You just wanted to spend time with that thing?
Oh, are you talking about Jerk? Or
Sarah's messaging me. It's a lot harder to keep track of everything. Just jump
Sorry,
in.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to sneak away to spend time with this thing. I mean, I could just leave. I follow Azita out, and you find a place to sit down and go through all the things that I've acquired.
You're more than welcome to stay here. He made that offer to the both of you. You turned in the bounty for those goblins. The dead goblins are a boon to the town and reward, so you guys can be here as well. You don't have to sneak off to the crypt like Jerk does.
I mean, I follow wherever Azita went because separating from her would be weird. Where did you go?
Azita.
Can't hear you.
Azita.
Azita was muted.
Surprise.
I know, right? Shocker of the game. I would say like Azita just like went. I don't know, because the party's once again split up doing their own things right now. So I guess like
we could just leave the Lords of Alliance building and go back to Holly's to spend time with the pheasant.
You can do that.
Because we're also waiting for Halia to get out of work.
That's true.
Okay. So I
Um,
got
but I
party
feel
split up again. All right.
well, I was gonna say, since we have all the party
Zeta.
together, I kind of want to keep everybody in one place, out of character, completely out of character here.
Okay.
I had a
Um,
question. Does the stone of far speech, does that like make a dinging noise if I try to use it? Like if Talison's got one and I've got one? Can I just be like, hey, where are
Stone
you
of far
guys?
speech. You mean the sending stones?
Yeah, sending stones.
Why is that like a third edition thing?
It might be. I don't know. That's just what always comes to
Mm,
mind. I think that's like the second time I've
I
called it
think
that.
I think it's
It is.
called that in like a podcast or something.
Okay. Well, yeah, the sending stones. Since you both have one, I believe the way it works is if you start speaking through it, it will glow,
Okay.
and then your voice would start coming through the stone. So you could literally just be speaking to Taliesin, and if he hears it in his pouch or what.
Okay.
Oh
Can
yeah.
I send a text message over it via T9?
Right? Yeah, it's not a ding ding. It's a voice. It's like you hold the stone, you concentrate on it, and you speak into it, and it speaks out the other end.
Oh,
It's like
I
tin
was
cans,
I was
but
just joking.
magical.
Magical tin cans.
Yeah. There's no receiver or notification, if that's what you're asking. It's not going to vibrate. So silently announce him in your pocket. You just activate it, and it starts
Okay.
speaking
Yeah,
out
no,
the
I
other
was
stone.
just wondering if we had to do an incantation since we already did it once.
No, they are
Magic items that are
they're
activated.
enchanted. Yeah, they are enchanted, so they just do this thing.
Okay. Cool.
It's a magic item that all it does is talk to the other one.
Hmm.
okay.
It's about as close as you get to a telephone in this world, outside
Oh,
of
and
just straight magic speaking into someone else's mind.
it's in my memory from from a while ago. Chris, you're thinking of the Adventure Zone. They have that sort of thing.
I think
Okay.
they just call it that, but it's the same thing.
Yes.
Cool.
So who's going first?
I was curious because I was like, why does he keep calling it that? So I just wanted to know, like out of curiosity's sake.
I think they started calling it that in their comic books because they couldn't use like speaking stone because of copyright.
Makes sense.
That could be true. I still need to read the second book.
Okay, so back into the game.
No. Yes. I'm just waiting
Azita
for this
will
curse to be removed.
actually hang out in the crypt with Jerk and just stare at him. That's all she's going to do is stare at him, staring at his gloves.
For a solid hour.
Yep.
That seems like something that Azita would do.
All right,
That's what Azita's
you're both
going to do.
busy. What does everyone else do?
Okay, so
Fubert came with Godwald. Godwald, you've cast remove curse on Taliesin once.
remove curse, 3rd level spell, cleric. Casting time, 1 action, range touch. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. Does not work on magic items.
The curses on his person will require you to do this twice.
All right, for the first, okay, wait.
So I was just gonna
The Forge of
you-
Spells is indeed strong. Which thing would you want me to touch first, Taliesin?
it's wild magic. Wild magic is crazy.
I guess I'd like my arms back.
Okay, I will spend that slot touching his arms.
All right, and Taliesin, as
That
the magic moves through through the servants of Bahamut, through Godwald into arms, then materialize and are once again visible.
All right.
Your skin's
Finally.
still kind of kiwi.
Was there anything else?
Are
I
you
can do
able
that
to?
I can do that once more today.
Could you please return my skin to normal?
Okay. That seems reasonable enough. This still counts as like an affliction that was as a result of a thing that happened while we were working in the cave. So I'll hold the same arms and cast it again.
Oh, you're counting this as like a business transaction for like, well, we're doing this job, blah blah
I mean,
blah.
that's the simplest way.
Okay. Um. Okay. Let's see. That doesn't take you very long. You're using very
Yeah.
powerful magic, and it happens quickly. So you guys are still have like freedom of things to go around and do while
Is
uh,
it so my skin is back to normal?
your skin is back to normal. He spent some
I
powerful magic to make you look normal.
Oh yes.
I lovingly embrace him and start crying.
I
Thank you so much.
I'm
I
gonna
was so
attempt.
worried that I was never gonna get back to normal.
I'm gonna attempt to distract Taliesin so that this moment doesn't carry on for too long. Saying, "Hey, didn't you want to see the potion making stuff they had down here?"
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah,
that?
if you guys, it's actually just in the room right to the north of you. And if you go and ask Sildar if you could use the table, he will tell you he has little to no use for the items. You'll notice that they've gathered dust, but uh, you can like clean things out of the materials and start, I believe, brewing potions is what you were aiming for.
Yes. Well, I kind of want to just like inspect in here, see if there's anything that I can salvage and use.
I
Like
believe
if
you
there's any
guys.
ingredients and things like that left over. I know that I have certain things. I have material components for invisibility spell.
Yeah, I
I think
believe
that
that's
might be.
actually what you found here, actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
So,
you already kind of like went through the room previously.
well, I
So
didn't know if because I know we were like kind of in the middle of seeking out what was going on. I didn't know if maybe there was like um
like all the time we were.
The
like
tools
now
are
that I have time to look
yeah
through things.
the tools are still there. There's the glass tubes and braziers for making a fire underneath things so that you could start burning chemicals. Anything that was left over the 2.5 years that you guys were gone is you already took what was of value, and anything else left was it's no good anymore. And you could
Okay.
consider it expired, I suppose. It's been a
All
while.
right.
So
Well,
do you want to leave this stuff here, take it back to my house where the healing potion person is, or take it with us on our journey?
I mean, if you guys have something to do, I might work on this potion of invisibility
Do you know how long that would
while
take?
I don't know how long it would take for. Let's see here. I can use it with my herbalism kit, but I don't know how long it would take to actually. I, I mean, I don't think it would take that long for me to put the components together, but it would take probably a while for it to like brew, steep,
Let's see.
or whatever it needs to
Exactly.
do.
Like a long
Yep.
time ago, when I did an investigation on that bookshelf during that fight with that Nothic, I found the recipe for the potion. So
Hmm.
I should be able to pull that back out and hand it to you.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. That
That was the only thing I
book
found
does enable you.
in that round.
Yeah, that book
Um,
does help you do it. You do see that for the potion to brew, the the complexity and the of the potion of invisibility would take like a week for you, but the healing potions you could probably set to brew over the course of, I'm gonna say, a day, because I don't want to wait that long
well,
for the other
Fair.
stuff.
I don't have the components for the healing potions anymore because I gave those.
Oh, okay.
And
And
instantly got
she
potions.
gave me potions for them. Um, so I do have a couple. I think I have 2 healing potions.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
that's
but
right. That was part of your deal of getting the materials for
yeah.
3. She was
So
willing to trade up to keep herself kind of even if you brought materials.
yeah. Let's see. What's today? The 16th. Okay.
In game time, it's been about 10 days since you guys visited through that time skip. So I suppose had this started a lot earlier, you'd be pretty good, but uh, it will take it will take It'll take a week for the items to brew, but you can spend the next hour setting those things here and kind of on the, the heat that needs to steep on for the next 2 days. Come back the next day and move it through the next phase. So if you
Okay.
wanted to keep returning here, you absolutely could.
So just take about an hour a day for a week.
Yep, just kind of come back each day to do each next step.
And we've already been told that
Is it-
nobody else uses this room, so
Is it
Mhm.
just that it needs heat an hour a day for a week?
I'm pulling things out to be like, okay, it's this. The total time's going to be a week. But
Yeah, I'm just
in order to do
wondering-
other different steps, you're going to need to
Can-
come back during that week to
Make-
move it through the phases.
make sure it's
Okay.
Invisibility
exactly
potion-
simmering. Add another
Invisibility
ingredient.
potion is a very rare potion. So it's a very
I did-
difficult thing to make.
Well, I was just wondering if I could use like produce flame like while we're on the road to like heat it.
What,
if I needed to.
constantly?
Well,
yeah,
just like
the thing's got a set.
okay.
So
Wow.
it might be a time for a thing where you guys have some time between things, where you're not running to go do something else, or you're in a place for a shorter period of time between your.
Like, we won't need it for the cave, probably, because we've been to most of the cave. So Taliesin might be able to willing to leave it until after the cave.
I suppose we could.
This stuff will
finish
be
that
here
up.
if it's been here for 2 years.
I suppose we can finish that up before a week's end. Oh wait, you're saying a week, but isn't a week like 10 days or something?
Oh yeah, I do mean 7 days. I do mean 7 days.
You do mean
Yeah,
7
you're
days.
right. I do
Okay.
mean 7 days and not D&D 10 days. So yeah.
Okay, I just make sure of that. Cool. So, yeah, I will set that up and get that brewing, and then I guess, yeah, whatever somebody else is doing, because you said that's going to take me like an hour to do setup and do all that.
Yeah.
So
So I'll get to then, if Azita, you're somewhere here spending time with the items. Seems like you said or Novak, I apologize. Novak, you said you were going to spend some time with the gem that you had as well. Jerk, over the course of the hour that you spend with the gauntlets that you had, you find that they are gauntlets of ogre power. This is one of the treasures that the black spider had found in the cave while they were exploring. It
That's
was
exciting.
in the gear that they had. So you can go ahead and add those to your inventory. There's a reminder what they look like. And what they do is the gauntlets of power turn your strength score to 19 while you wear the gauntlets. They have no effect on you if your strength is 19 or higher without them.
Oh my
You do-
god!
You do
What
realize
type of armor are they though?
you do realize though that with your magical gloves and these gauntlets, you won't be able to wear both of them on your hands.
That's fine. Let me check my equipment real quick and figure out which one I'm going to be using. So it's between a
Also, as we discussed, you didn't have you unattuned your wild magic dagger to attune the spider staff.
Yep.
So that you could do that web spell you did last night.
Mhm.
So since so this
and-
new set of gloves does attune, but the other set does not. So you can switch back to the thievery gloves when you need them out of combat, even if
That's
you're wearing these normally.
yes.
And Jerk's hoarding continues.
Yes.
How close to over encumbered are you?
He's gonna get there soon.
Not with those
am
ogre strength gloves.
unencumbered.
That's true, that would increase it.
Dude, that's gonna take my strength up by 11.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But
That will
Although-
also affect
Although I will
your-
say, they're not going to increase your damage to anything because you use dexterity. So
it's like all the daggers and crossbows will stay the same. Like if you're
Right.
hitting with one of the staffs, that will go,
Should give them to a strength
s-
base.
but it will not become
strength-based
more
weapon.
than your other weapons.
That's what I was thinking. Was
Because the
giving
mod's
to
not going to be better than the
strength-based
dex mod.
character.
We've got three strength-based characters.
And I never use sleight of hand, anyways.
I'm technically strength.
Are you?
Well, if I
No, you're
I-
whiz, aren't you?
well, I have
Strength
a
Well,
or
mace
wisdom.
when wisdom
Yeah.
fails.
Melee, he's based off of strength.
And I mean, if there's anybody that does lots of grapples and things, that's definitely strength.
I can just
So
turn into a bear or something.
out of
like Pierre
character,
All the bear shoves.
does who has attunement slots left?
I have 2.
Well, I'm not giving you anything. You want to fight me all the time.
I
Bear.
would claim that Pubert, who attacks with strength and uses ability checks with strength and has 1 attunement slot left, would very much use these well.
Well, the only thing is his strength already 18 or 19?
It's a 12. He's a charisma-based character.
His strength is 14, but it would bump him up
To 19.
That is true.
to 19.
Misread that.
And he does attack with strength. So when he does damage, it is based on his strength.
He would fucking crush shit with that.
And it would up the mod on the shoves. And
I understand it's a tough call. You're asking like if anybody has availability on attunement. That's the one I can speak to. It's not here.
I don't have any slots. He does. And he's
While you
straightforward enough
guys-
that he's not going to get rid of him.
While you're thinking about that, Novak, you take the glowing gem out of the pheasant's gullet, and you think to yourself like this goblin probably just thought that the pheasant was glowing, that it wasn't from this gem. You spend the hour figuring out what it is, and it is a gemstone enchanted with the create or destroy water spell. So I'm gonna send you that link so you can maybe put this onto.
Huh. That would have
Okay.
been really useful.
Yeah,
Like, to put out the fire.
I randomly chose it too, so it was randomly could have been useful in the past before we knew what it was. It's pretty low. But let me send this to you. Just direct message you in I think that's the link for the spell. And so it has one use of it. You basically have the stone and it can do this spell once. So what it does is you either create or destroy water. If you create water, you can create up to 10 gallons of clean water within range in an open container. Alternatively, the water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing exposed flames in the area. Yes, wow, that would have been really helpful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's the effect I prayed for, and it happened. And something
Yeah,
bigger
that's-
happened.
that's true. You could destroy water, so you can destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container with range, or alternatively, you destroy fog in a 30-foot cube within range. So keep that in mind, because that fog thing could be potentially useful if you can't see in a fog or something.
Some fog is
Can't really-
heavily obscuring.
I mean, I
And-
use it the same way as I use the other spell I cast.
And I rolled, so it'll do create or destroy water at the second level. So that means if you at a second level, it creates an additional 10 gallons of water, or increases the cube by 5 feet. So does that make sense? If you like follow that link and you go to the spell, you see how create or destroy is a first level, but I rolled really high over here to see if it does it, so it'll do it at a second level. So
Cool.
instead of 10 gallons, it's 20 gallons. Instead of a 30-foot cube, it's a 35-foot cube. I will send me. Oh man, I need to make a note. So I'm just gonna put it in big to-do note in my thing to add that as a magical item into your inventory. In the meantime, you can do magic water gem or something if you just put it in your other story notes, to-do list. add magic gem, create a destroy water, level 2. And I'll go through and do that for you later. Okie dokie. Yep. So I think those were the items you guys had that you wanted to spend time with to figure out. I don't know, Jerk, if you decided what you want to do with those, if you're attuning them or whatever. I'm super curious though. But either way, you guys have spent a bit over an hour. Taliesin, you've got the potion of invisibility starting to brew, and as you're wrapping that up, you guys can come kind of meet back up in that room. And I don't know if you want to talk about the stuff you've learned separately or not. Um, for instance, Sparkle Motion does not know how the interrogation went. The Zentrum agents are unaware of what the rest of you have been doing about, and there is the discussion of dividing up party funds for the work that you've done. And then what you all want to do with the rest of your day.
Well, I'm gonna get on the sending stone and be like, "Hey guys, where you at? I'm gonna come meet up with you."
Well, I'm the one with the other set. I'm in the room next to Sildar, just brewing a
Where do you,
potion.
where do you keep the other sendings down? Like in your backpack, in your
I keep it in my underwear. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know, maybe you do.
I have like a side pouch that I keep it in, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
I'll say as long as Jerk's speaking at like a regular volume, then sure, like easy enough to hear the muffled thing and get out and talk to him. I think the idea typically is that you know that the other person is going to be contacting you, so you in some way have it out and you're able to listen. I would say it's muffled in a bag. So good or
Sure.
bad, how that goes,
Well,
right?
I have
Like,
elf
maybe you're trying to
ears.
sneak around and then suddenly Jerk's like, hi, hi, hi. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I have elf ears. Maybe I hear it better. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm just in the other room. You guys turned in those bounties. Do I get a cut of that? Because I really need some new armor. Yeah, that whole headdress, everything that I made is kind of screwed now.
How many of us are there now?
You know what?
There's
I would love to. I'm going to let you guys talk about this. I'm going to run and get a drink. You guys have a little round table about the stuff you're going, and I want to know all about it when I come back.
now. Are we all together? Where that got? I wanted to
I
get
mean,
everybody together and meet everybody. So
yeah. Well,
Well, I
Azita's
told you where
literally
I'm at.
just been staring at you while you looked at those gauntlets.
okay. Well,
I
I
might.
put the gauntlets on and then I came back to Taliesin.
All right, then that means me and Zeta are with you guys.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
I'm
I
just
kind of
at this
picture.
point, Azita is just going to follow Jerk because she's fascinated that there's another red-skinned creature around her.
Based on the success that I've had with removing these curses, I might be able to remove the wild magic from some of these things. It might work. It might
No, because
just
you can't
destroy them.
use remove curse on
But
items.
I
It says
could use
so.
dispel magic, but not
Hmm.
today. It's kind of work. It kind of dispel magic has a disenchanting effect sometimes.
That okay.
It could destroy the items, or it could just remove the item, or it could just remove the spell
All
or
right.
Well,
effect. I
I'm
don't know.
mainly concerned about the headdress and the scarf, but so I would like to
I'm
keep
going to
those.
test it on my backup dagger first, but not
Okay.
today.
Well, I would like to keep those. If there's better armor in town, I would like to check that out. But if not, then okay.
So, how are we dividing the gold up?
Uh, so
So
there's the five of us and the two of you.
The
Well,
five.
gold for
Yeah.
what?
1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 7 total. So for the
What
for
the
Black
gold?
Spider, I'm just giving it to the main party. So it's gonna
Well,
be
yeah, that That
But
makes sense because
but for
Zeta and Novak
the other
went
one, the
there.
75 is going to be divided by 7, so that gives us all.
I'll put
Okay,
in
give me
the
a second. I'll put in transfer and all that. I'll figure that out. Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, so the
like
75 is going to go between all of us.
So
I
that's
mean
10 gold pieces. Wait, are you holding? How do you get 7? Are you counting Sparkle Gem?
No, I
it sounds like
think
he's
I
counting Sparkle
was.
Gem.
Yeah, I
I think he's
was.
counting the Sparkle Motion
I mean, if
Tardy of
you're
5
going to keep
and the 2
Sparkle Gems
Grenade.
cut, you can. But that's all on you.
I hear. I want that gold when I get back.
Yeah, I'll keep her cut. I'll keep it separate
Okay.
too.
So that's 71.7. So that's 50.
So you guys divided up the money. Sounds like.
Well,
Who's
we're
gonna-
we're
That's what
working
I'm
on it.
working on
So
it
it's
right
10,
now.
10, and then what's the change?
So it'd be 10 gold pieces each. The 5 that's left would roughly about equal 7 silver pieces and 7 copper pieces each,
Okay.
with like
Just-
3 copper pieces left over.
This sounds really annoying. How about I just
What?
take 9
It's
gold
easy.
and everyone else gets 11?
Okay.
Okay, but then how much do I get out of the black spider
Well, give me a
And-
second.
I mean,
and
Okay.
the
glass
Black Spider
boy?
is 200 gold and
that's
there's
what
5
she's.
of us. That's 40 gold.
Yeah, so that's another 40 gold.
The
Okay.
Zentrum are okay
now
with that
that's-
because they were not involved at all.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
no, the 40 gold piece. So, Jerk, you would get double that because you're holding on to Sparkle Gems cut.
well, no, I've got her separate.
Okay.
If you want to have it in a separate pouch, that is just you being a nice friend.
Yep.
Okay. Was there anything for glass staff, or was he included in that bounty for the
Well,
that's the
200?
glass
that
staff
was
was the
10
11.
gold pieces.
Okay, okay.
So,
Well, no,
the-
he's taking one less, and we're all going to get 1 extra for that. So it's 11
Okay.
for us, and then Godwald said he'd take 9.
Yep.
and then
Good guy,
did
Godwald.
Novak keep all of that gold to herself for the goblins?
I
I'm-
honestly am a bit intimidated by you two to bring it up. If when the other two would bring it up, then
Okay,
I mean,
so out of character, I was gonna offer to divide it up if you guys had a way for us to make some more money outside of that, like simple mission. Like if you guys had another
So,
quest or something or bounty.
with
Well-
that,
Off-
we heard
offer that.
Taliesin openly discuss going to the cave. So we could volunteer, be like, hey, if you guys think we can make money there, we'll gladly go with.
If
Yeah,
you
maybe a
guys-
little bit
like
of our
as
gold
co-owners
commission.
of the cave, we can easily subcontract to these two
Well-
people with proven track records.
If you guys decide to become a part of Sparkle Motion, then technically you
Hey,
would
let's
have,
let's not get ahead of ourselves. We don't
We
know
don't need
these
to go
two.
that far. We can just hire them as
This-
subcontractors.
I mean,
This
I don't
dragon
have a
keeps
problem with
threatening
this.
me.
Well, you could sit here and make it like
Well, kiss and make
Yeah.
up.
I mean, she's not a dragon. She's dragon.
she's just
person.
dragonborn and she just keeps following you around.
Like,
You
And
guys
I'm
have
just trying to make a
crossed
profit,
paths.
so
Yeah, you guys have crossed paths. You know, I don't know if you're really following around, but you guys went out and,
Well,
found
oh no,
some
since
danger,
being
realized
back
you could make
here,
money.
Azita has literally been following Jerk around like a lost puppy dog because she's fascinated by the fact that he has red skin,
Just like your best friend.
like my big sister. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
like
Well,
we can
if you
offer
get-
just a cut of the loot of our second half of our cleaning
Well,
out
they
project.
did give us a cut of Yarno, so we should probably give them a cut of the 112 goblin coins.
And if both Zentrum agree on that, then we will gladly take that gold.
That's up to you, Novak, because you technically took all the gold to begin with.
I was
So
thinking
the-
about giving you guys a third of the gold if you let us go and continue doing quests with you to create a profit.
I'm fine with that.
Because I don't know you guys, so
I'm
don't
not in a
know.
position to argue that.
Okay,
fine.
so that's 37 gold pieces divided amongst the 4 of you.
And if you repay my kindness, that means that I can take 10 and that Pubert, Jerk, and Taliesin can take 9.
I'm fine with that.
That
That's
works
fine.
out simply.
Yep.
I am going to
So
pull.
go ahead and write 38 gold pieces down for the 112 originally, and I'll take 38 if you're assuming 1/3 between the two of us, like 1/3 each on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never had so much money in my life.
All right. After they're done talking about that, I want to Jerk wants to pull the ladies aside and just say, just so you're aware, these are my family just as much as I hope someday the Zenorum will be. Something bad happens and you guys bolt, I'll do everything in my power to find you and make you pay. So this is family. If you want in, I'll gladly back you 100%. But just remember, we stick together through thick and thin. We have since the beginning, and we will.
I wanna grab his shoulder and just be like, "It's all right, man. We can all take care of ourselves, but I appreciate the sentiment. You're family to me too. But I don't think that they mean us any harm."
And then I give him a big hug. I'm like, glad you got your arms back, buddy.
Me too.
I was gonna say I felt that bro hug coming on. I'm glad it happened.
Hell yeah.
Didn't even have to say it.
I wanna
Beautiful.
hug him and then like go partial like go like primal savagery so that I get just like real furry and just like squeeze him real tight.
And I forget that I put on the ogre strength gloves and accidentally crush him to death.
So
Oh, okay.
No, that's
you could
total joke.
roll to do
Total
it. Not
joke.
to death. 19 strength isn't like you're not Superman. Like
You're not frost
Very
giant
strong.
strength.
very strong. So did you equip them?
Yeah, I
mean,
put
you
him
have to
on.
spend like another. You have to spend another hour with them technically. So over the course of the next hour, if and they will attune.
so they're identified but not attuned.
Yeah,
Right.
Do we
they're
have a-
they're on.
a
Yeah,
But
really
you guys.
I plan
guys
on
usually have
talking
road.
to Pubert next time he's here and seeing what the benefits would be for him. Doing a little cost analysis.
So here's all my math from the 3 splits.
Yep.
Wow, good job.
Are you gonna be that
How's
rogue
that?
that just keeps things for himself and sells them?
No, I've given lots of stuff away already.
I'm just kidding.
He just picks it up first, and then briefly hoards it.
No, I'm just used to myself who just gives shit away, like really magical items, like a glass staff or a cloak that is of defense.
I think the party even bought you that that snake staff though.
The
just
party did buy me the snake
because
staff.
That
and-
was really nice. Like everybody chipped in like money and got you.
Yeah. Well, it was
Sparkle
nice,
Gem
but it
and
was also
Jerk
because
did
they
it.
set me on fire and almost killed me.
It was still
Hey,
nice.
she made her apology.
I'd forgotten
and
about
gave you a
that.
pet.
It was because you guys blew me the fuck up.
Yeah, so we bought him a snake to make up for it.
We totally blew you up.
Yeah,
Actually,
I was really lucky.
technically, that was Sparkle Gem, and she's gone now. So I feel
Yeah.
no more guilt.
I was really lucky that I was wild shaped because that
It's
gave
not my
me
fault. It's not my fault.
that gave me one more hit point than that actually did to me. Like I would have been dead in one. You would have
Hey,
one shot me.
Listen, Sparkle Gem had it. Karma bit her in the butt when she ran across that skull.
Yeah, no,
and
it
was
was
left with
funny.
1 hit point after Fireball.
Yeah, no, I mean that was some poetic justice for me. That was hilarious. So
Yeah, it was really close. Also, Jerk, you gave the spider staff and the armor to Sildar, so you have to unequip that and remove inventory.
Well, we talked about that last time. I told
We
him.
talked about it this time. The spider staff, you had to give it to him in order for him to accept the thing, trade you for the 200 gold.
Oh, I think those would be
Okay,
way
real
You
worth
didn't-
way
didn't have
more
to
than
do it.
200 gold.
Whoa, wait a minute.
You didn't have to do it.
Out of character. If we all want to remove that that item from our inventory, we could totally leave the bounty for the black spider open and cash it in after we get the head talking.
we already cashed it in.
Yeah, you
I
did.
already gave it up.
That was the
Oh,
whole
that's
first
right.
part. That was the whole first part of this
That's
thing.
right.
Is that
Yeah.
That's
Sildar?
right.
Sildar,
Never mind. So that bounty is no
That's fine.
longer open.
Whatever. Yeah, it's fine.
you do still have the signet ring of Lolth. He didn't require that from you. For
I also have a signet ring.
where'd you pick it up?
I think it was on a table or something.
So is the spider staff and what else?
His armor.
Okay.
They were willing to accept that as
Oh.
the proof because Pubera said you guys killed it.
Okay.
It was part of my adventuring gear.
Oh yeah, so you just have probably.
I just have one.
Oh, is it your Harper's ring? Did you do the Harper's as a ring instead of a patch? Or
No,
something?
I have a patch, but I it just says adventure gear common. I think it just came with my like class or something. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, that sounds right. It would probably. I don't know what your background is. That could be from.
Wanderer. So
I don't. Then you will have to figure out what your signet ring is of and for.
Yep.
We could talk about it later if you want.
Okay.
Question.
Sorry.
Out of character. Jared, do you ever find the list of those bounties that I asked for the Lord's
did.
Alliance?
I did. I didn't find much else that was working for the Lord's Alliance, but I did. Give me a sec. I had to bring it back up. And actually, what ended up happening was I ended up not sending the email. It was sitting in my drafts at work. So and I ran it. But so the Lord's Alliance only had, let's see, organization, Fandolin. If you guys go over to the bounty board, there's the rest of the bounties, but the Lord's Alliance in Fandolin had two bounties. One was for the goblins. They've been seen raiding the Tribor Trail. An open bounty for 5 gold paid. Now that's been increased to 7. The Lord's Alliance for proof of any goblin killed. The other is that Sildar would have mentioned is knoll removal. Also, Novak, thank you for doing it. A pack of gnolls has been reported terrorizing a nearby farm in Tribor, and the farmer's daughter is willing to give adventurers a family heirloom as a reward. So those are the two things that he had personally. But there's also a bounty board at the town hall. And I wrote up a bunch of stuff if you guys want to go check it out. Sorry, I'm metagaming.
Well, we're back to in character now, and Jerk had just gotten done being like, these people are my family. They bro hugged it, right?
Yeah. It's glad to see his arms are back. Taliesin has arms.
yes, I'm excited about that. I would like to go into town and check out the Lion Shield's Coster as well as, well, I guess just the Lion Shield's Coster and see if they have anything new.
Pubert is definitely looking at Jerk's shiny new gloves with, oh yeah, big wide open eyes. Just kind of like the, like that scene in like where anime eyes, they get all like gigantic, black and watery, like, oh. He's looking over for that. But so you guys are gonna exit. You want to collectively exit Tresendar Manor and go to? I'm sorry.
Well, Taliesin expressed an interest of heading to the Coster and getting some armor that both protects him and doesn't, like, mess with his druidic vows or something.
Yes.
I don't
Okay.
really know how it works, and he's never really wanted to explain.
I don't like metal.
All right.
That sounds
So
like
you
the
guys-
long and short of it.
Does everyone collectively head along with him?
Yeah.
Anything else? You are free to do it. I know I make the jokes about splitting up the party. Those are just jokes. You're absolutely free to do other stuff. I'm just gonna write it down if you go different places.
I'll go with
I'd
him.
like to check
I'll see
out.
if there's anything else I could use.
I'd like to go check on Halia and see how she's doing too.
Well, she did ask
Oh.
Azita to bring her food, so like.
I do want to say before we all head out, I did tell Gundren and Oriana that we would meet them and talk to them about going back to Wave Echo Cave with them. So they were at the Sleeping Giant last I left them. If we wanted to
Yeah.
head there together, to you two new people, if you would like to come, I'm sure there'd be some coin in it for you.
Said go
mean-
where? Sorry.
The Sleeping Giant. We have some people in a deal in the works to clear out the magic that caused my skin and arms to be the way that they were in a roundabout way. And we're looking to dispel that magic from a cave so that we can make. Well, I'll let them explain it to you. But if you guys would like to come, I'm sure that we could provide some compensation, or some compensation would be provided by the owners of this cave.
I mean, Novak gives a shrug and sure says, sure, why not? But I do want to check out that bounty board before we leave town.
What are you, a witcher?
Oh, I gotta make that money.
We just hustle.
Dollar bills. All
We're
right.
just about that hustle.
No one
I
got
mean-
that joke. Okay.
Yeah. I mean.
You say things like that all the time.
All right. So I'm hearing some people want to go to Line Show Coster. Some people want to go to the Miners Exchange. Some people want to go to the Sleeping Giant Tap Room.
Well, I think I'll go to the Sleeping Giant first, because I would
Well,
like
why
to
don't
bring.
we just, as a group, travel through town and hit everything?
Well, the
It might
Sleeping
be-
Giant's going to be first, and I think it would be important to meet up with them, since I said I'd bring everyone back.
Can we get the town map and see what the most efficient path is?
Yeah.
Sure. I was actually just thinking the same thing. Good call.
This is a temple.
So you guys are here at Tresnar Manor. It's up on the hill.
And it looks like Taliesin is right, and that is the first place on the road. So
Yep.
we will all have to pass that on the way to where we're going.
All right.
Probably.
So everyone heads out, leaves Tresnar Manor. As you all go up, go through the upstairs. Don't exit through the secret tunnel, but you go out the front door. The guards, the three guards that were standing there are there again, but the one, Brad, is just kind of like, bye, guys. It was really cool to meet you. Do you think... Oh, never mind. And he kind of shrugs down, but as you walk along then, I'll bring you to the Sleeping Giant Tap Room. Again, no, it is not a giant collection of wizards. Sorry to disappoint.
It has a boat? Oh, wait, no,
Yep.
never mind. That was...
Yes, you have to sometimes take a quick break elsewhere. But yeah, if you guys do come down here to the tap room, it is now probably in the afternoon. It's actually past noon, so the sun is heading down, just past the peak, where it would be in the sky. Any of the you notice that this morning it did not snow. That light dusting of snow that you had seen has been kind of a present thing each morning is no longer, is not on the ground, and it did not snow this morning. As you approach, there are more people milling about. And you see a couple of the dwarves and humans about, and if you go inside, you will find Salem. You'll find the four of them. You'll find Salem, Clarendon, Sturm, and Oriana sitting around the table discussing things. And so as you enter in.
So as we enter in, I wave at them and be like, "Sorry for the wait. These are my friends. We are the ones that have, well, most of us have been there. We've got a couple new people, though they've proven pretty strong. and helped us out during the Goblin raid. If you, I wanted you guys all to meet so that we could kind of work out what we plan to do on when we go back to the cave.
Did you mean mead?
Yeah.
You know what?
He
That
is
sounds like a
3
good thing.
beers. I would say he is 3 beers deep, so he could
That
have
was
easily
earlier. It's
misspoken.
been a
And he's
couple hours.
And you're an elf, you would continue. But I've heard it before.
Continue. But so, if you kind of introduce Salem kind of like gives a quick look around to everybody else, looks up at you, and he goes, well, as we understood it, the Rockseeker brothers were owners of the mine. And when we had first started speaking with them, we didn't understand that you had a deal with them to clear the mine out and to make your money. We don't want to step on any toes, but we did follow, uh, some divinations and a vision here to Phandalin. We're certainly we're certainly going to pursue those things. Lathander be praised. And you'd see like Oriana kind of give him like a little look and a smirk, like, yeah, okay. And he goes, but he's like, I think any deals have to be made with the owners, but I am interested in exactly what deal it was. I heard a couple things you said. One was for 30% of the mine, and then one was that the contract was for 10% of its proceeds. Do you have any clarification on that for us?
I believe it was 10% of the any sort of earnings. Fine. And I'm, willing to work something out with you guys. To be honest, unless anybody else in my party has a better idea, I do not know how to clear the mine of this evil presence, as well as I've always been one to believe in the dreams that come and what they could mean. So I trust that maybe you guys were sent here for a purpose. But I speak for myself.
Oriana chimes in. She goes, "Oh, just like, my vision from the Sun Lord was true, and I believe I was brought here specifically to, rid the evil from that place. I didn't quite understand my vision immediately until I found out who you all were, and some of the pieces came together with what you told me about the necrotic aura there. Let you know that that's a specialty of hers, and that she can, it's actually something she's has the ability, to do, and she, through rites and rituals, may be able to clear the aura out. Um, she goes, I don't believe anyone here is particularly interested in risking their lives for the task, but perhaps we'll speak with the Rockseeker brothers to work out maybe a similar portion for what you've contracted.
Um, so quickly out of character, it was 20% of profits.
Out of character, it was 10% in your contract,
I thought it was
and
20%.
on the way back, when he was when you had the two dwarves that were in, somebody mentioned something, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you our brother's portion." So
Okay.
you have a contract for 10% of the mine. You did have a offer for the portion of
The third.
the dead, the the dead Rocker Seeker brother. His 20% was a verbal offer to you. So just so you remember what it is you're talking about, that's
Okay.
the case.
And he was under stress.
Under duress.
Yes,
Well,
and
he
I
was
would say
stressed.
I would say with my wisdom characters, with your passive insights, you probably understand that. Yeah, he probably would have been willing to give you a lot in exchange for their lives. But Taliesin, while you were there, part of the persuasion that was happening while he was, feeding him drinks, trying to get him to agree to more, was that well, the contract was only for 10%. So he kind of was starting to be swayed, but as conversation went south, he left. So he didn't settle on anything with them, and they certainly haven't drawn up a contract yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say out of character, Sparkle Gem would not be happy about this, and she'd be trying to cut this out immediately.
Well, she's not here.
Not
Yeah,
here.
she's not here.
I know. I know.
I feel like it's killing you when she's not here.
It is. It's kind of killing me. She's not here right now because she'd be like, "No, you think you're going to get any percent, but we'll pay you a flat rate of 500 gold pieces, and that's it. Post
That's
fix."
we can afford that now, but
So then at the table, they're what they're saying, and what you kind of see, and you get the sense of. In fact, who are my insight characters that are here at the table? Taliesin and
Yes.
Godwald. Give me
Seven-
give me an
17.
insight roll. Oh, it's your passives?
yeah,
Jesus.
My
Well,
passive is 16.
You get the sense that between the group of them, that the dwarf is interested in getting as much for their group as he can. That Oriana, the cleric, the cleric of Lathander, that she's more interested in doing the task that she was brought here for. Clarendon is impossible to read through his smiles, looks around, face changing to another, to a still motion, to then a laughing giggle. It's just you can't get a beat on him. And Sturm is kind of just agreeing to what Oriana wants. So it's kind of what you get. And they say they're we're going to talk to the Rock Seekers about removing the magic. We're not going to try and step on your toes about clearing the mine out and the money that you're making.
that sounds reasonable. I think because the service that they would provide of cleansing the aura, I think doesn't really fall
Oh,
under our
wow.
contract of removing the dangers because it didn't seem to affect us at all.
Yeah. But here's the thing as well. Is they've already said they don't want to risk their life to clear this, to deal with this. So unless we clear it out first, they're not going to really go in.
Maybe that's the better play then, that we do that we do not invite them on this trip, though they would be of use, and clear it out ourselves, and we the
Allow
Sparkle
us to
Motion in this
establish
interim.
guards then after that to keep it protected from future threats.
After we've completed our contract, we can talk about the aura, and we still have an interest in the aura being gone because of the force, but it's not part of our contract now, so we can do our clearing out and then
Yep.
worry about that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sure.
So, in that case, we would be able to end negotiations here, and be like that they can they can go ahead and contact Gundren at their pleasure, and we would go do our contract.
Yep.
We can't really name, and thus
Say-
we don't have to name any terms or anything.
Salem's like, if you do see him, tell him I'm looking to share another drink with him. Grista in the back, she's like, we've got the best dwarven ale for 10 miles. Which, no, probably longer, actually. Let's say she would be referring
Honestly, I don't
to
think there's even another
Neverwinter.
city in 10 miles.
Yeah.
So feel
She
free to
probably
exaggerate
thought,
further,
yeah, let's see what
but
it's.
still a nice snappy number.
Like 200 miles?
Yeah, 50 miles. She's like, we got the best dwarven ale for 50 miles.
That's a nice snappy number. I mean, Waterdeep I'm within 200 miles, so
Yeah,
I think
Neverwinter's
I'm ready.
about 50 away. She's being realistic.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Tell us, and I don't think there's anything else to say here, unless you want to have another drink or win some more money from these people.
Nah, let's head out. Let's go to the Lion Shields Coster, see what they got.
Oh,
Yeah, I think this
you
is leaving
boys
on
looking
good
for
terms.
you boys looking for a game of cards? I'm always down and ready.
I'd feel too bad. I already took enough money from you guys.
Picks up a big pouch of gold and sets it on while he's looking at you. Maybe I'll win some of that back. And you see that you'd seen the same pouch before, just a few hours ago, and it's heavier and more full than it was when you left the last time.
So he's been here the whole time, probably, and
Winning.
which makes it not a good idea to sit down, because maybe he's better than he showed.
Okay, so on to the
I
next
say
spot.
quit while I'm ahead, but if you guys want to
Yes.
play,
Let's all go towards the door, I would say.
Yep,
and
I'm
keep us
leaving
together.
towards the door.
Oriana gives you a quick gesture. Lathander's blessings upon you. Son be praised.
I turn around and I say, Timor's blessings upon you.
Do you know this? Do you know a sign thing for that?
Not a clue.
She gives you a smile back. Bow and a nod. She appreciates the gesture.
I want to express an interest in the group to this
Hmm?
the farm hand or the farmer's daughter who wants to give us who has a job for a family heirloom. That interests me. So as we're
Okay.
walking, I'd like to talk about that. As
Do you
we're,
know where?
it was on the bounty board.
Was there a
No.
contact location?
Oh, that was something first, Sildar. We have yet to hit the bounty board and get all of the bounties. Once
Yeah, we
I
need to
feel
go
like,
to the bounty board still.
I
Okay.
mean, we'll
yeah.
pass through the center of town on the way to the Coster.
Okay.
Well, right, and that's what I mean is if we. So where's next on our list of places to go? We're coming down this way. Stonehill Inn.
So I'd
Nobody
say
needs to
Coster
go there.
before exchange.
Well, if we go Coster, then we
Hit the
could
bounty
hit.
board, and then we can talk about. This
Then we'll hit the
girl.
exchange to go see Halia.
So you want to stop at the board at the hall on the way to the Coster, which that's on the way. So we can do that next.
Okay.
So we can
So what's the next one?
Bounty board.
So the
Town
town
Master's
master's
Hall?
hall.
All right. Let's see. There's Agatha's lair. Town Master's Hall. Boop. Well, let's see. Sildar's not there anymore. If you approach as a group and if you enter the Town Master's Hall, you would find Alyssa, the young girl working as the assistant to the town master, which is essentially like a mayor, sort of elected official here in town. But Harbin is there as well, so you can feel free to go up and speak to them. But Alyssa says, she gives you a pleasant greeting. Oh, hello, travelers. Like, if there's anything that we can do for you here today, please let us know. And she just kind of sits behind her desk there. Man, I have their assets. I want to find them. I'm not even gonna find where I have them on Roll20. I'm just gonna throw their images on the thing. Where's good old Harbin? Or not Harbin. Harbin. Oh yeah, Harbin. Harbin, town master. He's there. Are you guys just checking out the board? Just gonna hey, we're just passing through.
Yeah.
Azita sounded like
Yep.
she was pretty one track and would walk straight towards the board.
All right, Azita, you read the following thing. Bounty board. Is everyone reading it, or am I just giving these to Azita?
I'll follow.
I'm there too.
I
Okay.
think I would say I
I'm-
think it's just getting read out loud to everybody.
I'm not really paying attention.
Okay, so then you pretend you don't really hearing this, but Azita for sure, or Novak for sure. Sorry, it's because the letter A goes straight to it, and then apologize for my dumb brain. But Novak for sure. You see several bounties on the board. The first says, "Too young. My son and his two friends have left the village to become adventurers. Find them and teach them the error of their ways. Reward if they return. Must be alive." And it's from Kayleen Alderleaf.
Oh
For
no,
how
that
much?
poor kid.
Where
So
have I heard that?
Pip,
What?
We made him
Pip?
become adventurer. He followed. He like looked up to us, and I guess apparently now he left town.
How
Yeah,
old
He
were
Pip
you
was
when you?
left
No,
town.
he was the one
I know.
who he left us. He led us to the
I
Nothic.
know. I'm playing my character. What?
Okay.
He's like, so Jerk says
How much
Pip,
is
and
the
Talos is like,
reward?
what?
It doesn't say, but it does say the person who posted it, which is Kayleen Alderleaf. You've spoken to her in the past, and Godwald and Peabear know where her farm is, so you could go inquire with her if you'd like. The next one on the board says, "Love of my life. Please, I need your help to make me look cool in front of the love of my life, so that I can win her heart. I could never hope to win her by normal means since I'm poor. I'll give you all of my life savings in return. Bonus if you look scary." And it's marked Robert Barntheo.
Life savings is right underneath the word poor.
That's
Yes.
fine. It says all I have to do is look scary. Done. I'm going to go do that.
There is another bounty on the board that says Mole Dispatch. And it notes a group of unusually large moles are wrecking our fields in Tribor. We are in dire need of someone who is getting rid of these pests. Payment in gold or products from our farmers market.
That
From
sounds like a Taliesin
Nicarin,
job.
Nicarin Fowler.
That sounds like a job for Pip.
Taliesin can just go talk to him.
I'm gonna keep that as like if we have to convince Pip to at least be a little closer to home, that's not a good idea. Just
Yeah, it's
moles of
not
unusual
a bad
size.
idea. All right.
The next one says, "Find my Fluffy," and it's signed Alalie. And then it is scrawled in crayon with a poorly drawn picture of a cat. And the cat drawing is also labeled Fluffy.
So who wants to do D ranks, guys?
There is the Goblin Raiders that you know of from Sildar. Goblins, 5 gold. You know it's currently 7. He hasn't been down here since. And the Knoll Removal, which is a pack of gnolls have been reported terrorizing a nearby farm in Tribor, and the farmer's daughter is willing to give adventurers a family heirloom as a reward. It's signed Sildar, Lord's Alliance.
And Jerk, that's the one you were talking about?
Yeah, now though that I've seen the whole board, I kind of feel like we're responsible for that kid and we need to go find him. He's the one who led us to the Nothic because it was talking to him and we got in through the basement. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It's Pip.
Yeah, so
It's right!
You're saying
Fucking
I've said that
inspiration!
3 times.
Yeah, I've said Pip.
Did you?
It's
Did
Pip.
you?
Yeah.
I've
Alright,
said
alright,
like 6
alright.
or 7
well,
times already.
Alright, you both get it. You both get it. I'm proud of you. I love you both. You're great. Yes, it is Pip. Congratulations. You've
As
you've
soon as he
you've
said
warmed the
mother's name,
DM's
I'm
heart.
like, it's Pip.
3 times. Like he had art and a name.
yeah, we can
stuff
and then
involved. Like, so
God
it's been 3 years. So he's with like a teen.
Godwin also had
Yeah.
a great
Got
idea to
wanderlust.
sick him on the moles. Okay, so
Oh man, you don't think he went there, did you? You don't think he went after the bounty on the board in Tribor with his
I
friends?
mean, it wouldn't
He
be
could have.
surprising. I mean, does the Find Pip notice look newer than the Moles notice or the Knolls notice?
They all actually look pretty similar. They're all generally in the same handwriting. So it looks like they've been written by the same person and posted up here.
are they dated?
Except for the one that's scrawled in crayon that says "Find my Fluffy."
Well, I'm are they dated or no?
They are not dated.
I'm
There are
gonna
names on the board.
Jerk's
For
gonna
the folks in town,
okay.
you have advantage on finding them with Godwald and Peabear here.
Jerk's
Mhm.
gonna go up to the front desk and the woman behind it and say, you might want to date your bounties from now on, just so we know in what order they came in, And if they're connected, we can kind of put a timeline together to solve the entire problem and not just the individual problems.
Oh, well, I'm here. I'm actually the person who wrote them all, and you notice that you're kind of intimidating this like 13-year-old girl. But I could I could let you have an idea of when they were written.
Well, that would be supremely helpful. Thank you very much, young lady. So, when
She's like, Devil Man's talking to me. He doesn't
when
cast a shadow. What the fuck?
Can I do I notice that this is happening? Because I'm in the same room
Yeah,
that this
you could
person.
see it, you could see Alyssa, and she went from like standing and greeting you pleasantly to you should you should date these to her kind of like shrinking a little. Like,
I'd like to
oh, okay.
step over there and stand at Jerk's left. And you're like, so, so, if you can help us, when was Pip reported missing?
Oh, that would be about Pip. Actually, Kayleen came in and requested I write that up this morning. Um, I'm not really sure uh, where they've gone, but I could tell you where the elderly farm is if you're not
That would be
aware.
helpful. Yes.
And she points it out on the map because I'm going back. Look, I'll bring you back to the map. I think you actually have it on the map, maybe. If you haven't been there already?
This isn't it.
No, it's
No,
not.
I think it was
Take a
already
deep breath.
marked.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
And
Seeing where the elderly farm is.
when was the mole problem reported?
Oh, let's see. I think it was a I think it was about a 10-day ago. We had travelers come from Tribor, and those just from some of the Lord's Alliance um members came through, but they were passing on the information from one of the farmers in Tribor.
Hmm. And have you ever seen Pip come in here and look at the board?
Well, I mean, and she kind of like blushes. She's like, "Yeah, yeah, Pip comes around sometimes." She kind of like turns in her chair and twists a little.
Oh my goodness.
They're teenagers in a small
Yes.
town,
No,
about the same age.
no, it's
Like,
because it's you, Jared.
oh.
Teehee.
Anyways, yeah, no, he comes in sometimes.
All right, I gotta
I
take a
think
break and get the kid to bed.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say, do we want to go over, question the mom, and then head to Lion Shield and decide what to do from there?
Let's see. So from this point, the coster and the exchange are in one direction, and the farm is in the other. So I would put it up to Taliesin. Do you want to do the group? Do you want to finish the shopping first, or do you want to go get the info first? Because if it was this morning, this might be time sensitive.
What? I wasn't paying attention.
Thank you.
Pip.
Staying in character.
So you remember Pip, who led us through the tunnel 3 years ago
Oh yeah,
by
that
their
kid.
time?
Didn't you give him something, Taliesin?
Yes.
Like when you came back to town the first
Yes.
You
before the
inspired
time skip?
this. Way to
Well,
go. You are
Oh
accountable.
well, I'm sorry that I gave the kid a purpose.
his mother has left a notice this morning that he went off with some friends and a bag full of gear to go make a name for himself,
Sounds like a
and
good kid.
and she would like someone to either bring him back or bring back word about his health.
Okay. Is he in trouble?
I don't think the mother would be this concerned if he had training and preparedness, so I'm assuming that he has neither.
All right. Well, I guess we can go look for the little scamp.
And it's also possible that he's also reported having looked at the board himself before going off, so he may be investigating one of these other bounties. There's a few near town and a few along the trail.
All right. Well, we can go look for him. I should still stop by the
Here, let me.
the Lion Shield's Coster and get some armor.
I'm gonna
Fair enough.
post all these in the chat too, so you got them on record. Exactly what they said.
And if if my summary would encourage you to go and look now, you can know this stuff.
Look, I'm sorry.
If me telling you about Pip would be enough to have you look at the board
Oh,
yourself,
yeah.
you can know these things.
All right. I'll go look at the board, and then I'll just read what you posted in the chat.
And I expect an actual crayon drawing of a cat.
Yeah, sorry, I can't help you with the text on that one. Find my Fluffy. Poorly drawn cat attached. And there's the notice for the Goblin Raiders, which you guys know is an increased bounty. And then there's the novel, which I don't think I read the amount of money off of that one for you. My bad. Pew Bear would know that the way the Lord's Alliance works is they also likely are to have presence in Tribor, and so if you went to Tribor, the and brought a bounty with you, then there's a good chance that they could pay it out there. So just kind of general knowledge as a red knife you would have about how they kind of generally operate.
Okay.
So it sounds like there would be someone there to turn the quest into and give direct proof that the Knolls had been dealt with rather than bringing it all the way back.
Yep. And the pack for the pack, for proof that the pack is dead, is 200 gold.
And we can just
So,
have
yeah.
Novak cut off all their right hands.
Right. Pairs of ears, right hands, whatever suits you fancy to prove that they're dead. Are you guys moving over to the Lion Shield Con?
I mean, if it's just me and Taliesin that has business there, we could do that now while they're gone.
I suppose.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. We took the break. Yeah. Yeah. Up to you.
Yeah, I'll head over there. I need to
Okay.
get something to wear. See if they have anything gooder.
And I've got another odd piece of gear that I'd like to pick up for this trip.
Oh, look at that! I put the everything. I'm gonna move it slightly, saying, "Hey, here's the Lion Shield Coster." Then Leanne Graywin is the lady who runs it. You've met her. Yeah, you brought her back supplies that had been picked off on the Tribord Trail, and she typically has weapons for sale. It's the majority of what she's got is weaponry.
She doesn't have armor.
You can go in and inquire. As soon as you walk in the door, she greets you with a smile. You notice that she is armored.
Hello.
So if you want just like a simple set of medium humanoid leather armor, you can probably get that here and have it be fitted pretty close to you.
Well, I'm looking for some armor. Would you happen to have anything fit for an adventure like myself?
She kind of gives you a look over, up and down at your size. Gives like a kind of a glance, and she's like, "Let's see. What are you? You're about 5 feet tall, 120, 110 pounds."
I am I am 5 foot tall and 115 pounds.
Ah, all right then. I think I might just have the thing for you. And she kind of goes through and several kind of crates around the room. Things are like kind of boxed up. It's not like things are out on display, but there is the occasional like short sword sitting on a crate, different pieces. And she goes over to one, opens up the crate and pulls it out, and she's like chainmail armor. It's one of the strongest things that like absolutely protect you from knives, you know, sword stabbing, the occasional spear or arrow,
Hmm.
maybe.
Taliesin is not proficient in heavy armor, and
I
it's also 90% metal.
I can't, unfortunately. Do you have any leather?
Oh, yeah, I do actually. I mean, it's not quite as sturdy as this, but she,
I can make do.
puts that back away in a crate, and she goes through some other things, and she pulls out a leather armor that actually kind of like almost similar to what she's wearing, though hers has metal shoulder plates, but it does bear the symbol of the lion shield coster. So, like right in the center, there's the face of a lion right on the piece. But she offers it over to you. She goes, "It's not quite as sturdy, but here, check it out. I think you might like this."
You don't need a super sturdy armor if you don't get hit.
Straight, like that's what I
Uh,
always say: avoid.
I'd rather avoid damage than be able to just take it. Can I see what the stats are of this, or
Yeah, it's standard
It
leather armor.
Standard leather armor is probably the best you're gonna get that's non-metal at this sort of place.
because I know that my
It'll it'll
my
basically give
hide
you a
armor was like a +1.
Yeah, the hide armor was pretty good.
hide armor is a +2 from clothes. This is a +1 from clothes,
Mm,
but it's
The
lighter.
hi- your hide armor came off of a really good roll uh off those orcs that you found.
hmm.
So you
Well,
you you had a really good roll on a loot table for the orcs.
yeah.
Yeah, you were pretty fortunate with that one.
All right. Well, is this the best that you've got?
It's like, well, and things that aren't metal, I believe that's probably the best I can do for you today.
I
Is there
understand.
something else that you're looking for?
Well,
Like
I've got some.
a heavier leather, like a
Yeah, I was looking
cave
for
bear
maybe
hide?
some.
She kind of
Was
looks you
Like
over.
mechanically, if you want to increase your AC, you could carry a wooden shield, but you said no to that the last time we were.
Well, I mean, that was because I was using a staff two-handed. How about any? What kind of wooden shields do you have? I just, I'm not really big on metal, but could take a shield possibly.
Well, it's like unfortunately, a lot of the items I have here come from the forge in Yartar. Yeah, the Lion Shield Coster. We're based from there. She's like, but I as a fellow citizen of Phandalin, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that we do have a woodworker here in town. He might be able to
Hmm,
fashion you something in terms of a wooden shield. Sure, he normally works with furniture and the like, but
I see.
also the buildings, and so I'm sure he might be able to build you something sturdy. You don't seem you're not really a knight, are you? Just kind of trying to figure out like how you would use weapons and what she might be able to
Um,
sell you.
I just kind of like smirk and what gave that away. Uh, I appreciate your honesty though. You could have tried to sell me something, something that I didn't want, but you led me in the direction of somebody who I feel like might be able to help. So I appreciate that, and um, I would like to. I personally would like to head that way. I'll be making my way over to this woodworker. Thank you.
Oh, you no need for the leather armor? Yeah, nothing I can help you with here.
Uh,
Just 10 gold, 10 gold, and it's a steal at that.
I've got an idea.
She kind of gives hers, and you notice the symbol of the lion on the front of it. She's like, I can tell you it's sturdy and it doesn't restrict your movement.
What color is the leather armor?
In this situation, what color do you want it to be?
Like a hunter green.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like
She's like, oh, you wanted 100 green? Hold on. And she goes through a couple things, and she's like, I don't have it in 100 green, but I do have leather dye. She's like, if you come back at the end of the day, she's like, I can have this dyed green for you.
It's a deal, and I'll give her the 10 gold. I'll put
Shakes
this
your
down
hand.
up front.
Yeah, I'll put this down up front.
She's like, I appreciate that very much. Thank you for, being a patron of the Lion Shield Coster. She's like, glad to do business with you, and she kind of like looks out the window a little bit to get like a sense of the time. She's like, um, if I work on this, I think maybe I can have that done by sunset, but you might want to let it dry.
I can come pick it up by tomorrow morning.
Perfect. It'll be ready for you first thing in the morning. She's like, I'm here. She's like, I'm here at 6 a.m. Or, she's like, I'm here before the dawn. Not the time, because people don't use watches.
Yes. How you guys like that? Bought some armor and my AC went down.
Oh wait, what's in the store at the Lion Shield? I
bought leather armor, but it's not as good as my cave bear armor, but it's also not going to curse me, so but then so I will make that deal with her. Godwall, do you need anything from here?
Looking at what we've had to do so far and what was on the boards, I'd like to buy a simple set of manacles to make it easier to bring people back next time.
Out of character real quick, there is a party fund on the chest with 5 pairs of manacles in it. Minus 2, which are in Helios right now.
So you're saying there's some on the cart?
There's 3 pairs left on the cart right now, and there's 2 that belong to the party at
that you
Helios
took from
house.
the Black
Okay, I can just pick up a pair later. Then and I'm just glad that Talison's done that. I don't have anything else here.
Real quick too, also out of character, is Kamala Anderson being taken care of at the stables?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good.
I
Just want to make sure that my girl Kamala is.
As part of my errands, I went to check on the cart, and it was being taken care of normally, despite showing up in the middle of
All right, I will stop by Kamala and just pet her for a minute, and then head over to the.
I hear the return of the rest of the party. Are any of you weapons and gear?
I'm gonna get a sickle.
Grab a beer.
If they have it.
The armor listed, because I was AFK for that.
It's not armor listed. He asked about armor, and she had some. You guys, we'll say you guys were around. She pulled out chainmail, and she has leather armor. She's going to be dyeing the leather armor for Taliesin for him to pick up in the morning.
Don't you have unarmored defense?
Yes, but depending on the armor.
Is chainmail light?
I'm looking into that.
Full chain is heavy, but chain shirt, like what I use, is medium.
Okay, I think I can only do light.
Leather is light armor, and it's an AC of 11. And you said chainmail is heavy armor.
Mm-hmm. Disadvantage
Jerk
on
is only
stealth.
proficient in light armor.
She doesn't have any breastplates in stock.
She? No. But if you inquire, she's like, it's not something I have in stock, but it's something I could order from home base back in Yartar.
No, I'm good. I'll just be good. It's not that much of an AC increase.
She's like, if we spend the extra money for sending a message via Raven, could probably have it delivered here.
Nope, I'm good.
It's like 5 to 10 days.
I'm good.
Well, if there's anything that we can do to help make you patrons, Lion Shield cost, please let us know. And she's in the room by herself.
Out of character real quick. Actually, I'll do this via whisper.
There you go.
Like, do you need a bigger sword?
No.
The biggest sword. Now, again, she doesn't always have everything on this list. This is literally just the page out of the book, and I put it on here. It says you guys could ask about and put on. So same like there wasn't armor on this list, but she does have different kinds.
Fair enough.
Da-da.
Can't have any of this. It has chocolate. You can't have that.
But I want it.
Robin makes this like.
All right. Anybody else? While you guys are at the weapons shop, anything you might want / need /
Robin.
think of anything in your head. This doesn't have to be on this
Just
list.
Photoshop
I would in
it.
fact put this list away just so that you're not focusing on it too much.
This Photoshop that I made.
I don't hear anybody. So
Nope, I'm good.
okay.
I'm done.
Where was the next place you were all headed?
I was headed to the woodworkers.
Okay.
See if he could make me a sweet shield.
So
Alright.
we don't know where that is yet because if you just got directions, it's the first that we know. So where would that be on the map?
True. Actually, let me go ahead. I'm not gonna have a.
Not a very big town.
I'm not gonna have a crappy fantasy map for you there, but I will.
I like the World of Warcraft maps.
No, I mean,
What?
like,
You
how
guys have made
far
fun
from
of it
here
like
is that?
real heavy. I'm gonna add
Yeah,
it.
this- Ooh.
We only make fun of you because we love you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you guys are like, oh, look at that. It's from World of Warcraft. It was ridiculous. Anyways. My DMs on Phandalin. Oh, he's actually like right next to the Lion Shield Gloucester. Might be why she pointed it out so openly. Because it would have been very, very easy to find.
Hell yeah.
Polygon line. White. Boop. That's the woodworker's shop. I'll add the text to it here. Yeah, but there's a guy in town who does a
Get your snoot away from the chocolate.
nope, that's huge. It's still not quite right. Looks a little big. 12-point font. Wow, okay. Whoa.
Almost.
One
So
or two
weird.
more font sizes.
So it went like when I was clicked into the menu, it was up. But all right, you guys know now. The woodworker's shop is there.
Okay.
If
So
you're
the
collectively
next stop
heading
on
over
our
there,
list was the miners' exchange. So this is on the way to the miners' exchange. So I would say it's sensible for us to go there on the way.
yeah. I mean, they're all like right next to each other. It's good. Kind
Or we could split.
of go there. I don't have a building for it, so Taliesin, as you go up to the woodworker's shop, you notice, the door is one of the finest crafted doors that you've seen in town. Handlework and everything there is ornate and sturdier. As you pull it open, it's like heavier most doors that you've encountered. As you step in the shop, it smells of sawdust
Rich
in the
mahogany.
air. Yeah,
Mountain
the woodwork.
Lodge.
It is in there, and it's just filled with various projects that are being done for different people in town. So he's got chairs, he's got you know, tables, dresser. You notice that the dresser is actually quite fine. This seems like an artesian that goes through. And I said he, so I'm gonna find a card with the guy's name. Do 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 do. Yeah, here he is. All right. This guy kind of goes up, greets you, goes, "Oh, nice to meet you." It's like, "My name's Teldon. How can I help you today?" Teldon Moore.
Hello, sir. The matron of the Lion Shield sent me your way, stating that you may be able to make me a wooden shield. That she's touted your craftsmanship, saying that you could make me a wooden shield that's stronger than any iron.
It's like, well, I hope that you can see from all of the all of my work here and my projects and my projects in process that I hope my quality speaks for itself.
It's beautiful quality, and at that, um, do you think you'd be able to make me such a shield?
It's like I tell you, I haven't made such a thing in quite some time. It's like when I moved to Fandolin, I never thought I would uh, have someone request such a thing from me. I've been making furniture and things for so long, but oh my gosh, are you serious? Um, it's like, but it's like and he kind of he goes through and he tells you a bit about he's like the last time that he was the last time that he was asked such a question was uh, when he was at water when he worked and lived in Waterdeep. He actually had come here to retire, but there were several elves who had asked him for something similar, and he put in some time in order to create such a thing. So he could make you that gear. I didn't have this. I had thought of this, but I didn't write it down. So I'm trying to bopping between all my stuff in the thing. Um, but he does tell you a tale and drop a few names of the Elven family that last requested it from him. He's specifically doing it in a way to let you know that he can definitely do this and create it for you. Um, roll me a history check to see if you've heard of the family.
History check. Just a +1. That is a 10.
The name sounds familiar. You're not quite like when he tells you about the Cephas elven family. You're like, maybe I've heard of them, maybe I haven't. So it doesn't quite land with you about where
Hmm.
he was trying to impress you about his skill.
Um,
But he does say he can make it for you. Might take him some time, but he wouldn't charge you. He wouldn't charge you too much. You know, probably 12 gold. But he does have several other projects and things that he's making for people around town. And you look and see one of these dresser chests that he's built is like polished, finish is just about to go out. But then there are several other just like wooden projects around it. It's like
what
you kind of have to be in line.
what what would it cost me to have a rush order created?
Hmm.
Oh, if I was to bump you ahead of everyone else, like, well, kind of, he doesn't look at his watch. That's the thing I do. Um, he kind of
He looks at
puts
his
his eyes up,
calluses.
looks up to the left, looks up to the right. It's like it's like, he names a couple families in town. So like, they might be a little upset that things are are delayed, but I'm sure the rush wouldn't be too much. So I'll tell you what, for an extra 5 gold, I'll rush your order out, and I'll spend the rest of the day today and tomorrow. He's like, I think I might even have a nice piece of wood here. I wish I had something just incredible, but hold on. And he starts to go through his materials, and he picks up, and he does have a very like thick piece of mahogany that is kind of stands as a big piece. And he's like, I think this might work well. It's like I could probably
That's beautiful.
do this. It's a decent piece of wood. Feels like he could make the shield out of it. So he's basically offering for 17 gold. He'll work on it for the rest of tonight and tomorrow, and he feels like he has a good chance of getting something done by tomorrow evening or the following. Well, let's see. And he knows his calendar. So he would tell you, let's see, you're on the 24th day of the Claw of Winter. So he knows that so he's like, yeah, he's like, I can have it ready for you on the, maybe the evening of the 25th or the morning of the 26th. I'll probably have that ready for you.
Okay. Sounds good, my friend. Can you?
Could I interest you in a little bit of flair on the shield? Maybe a fearsome creature that you'd like to see on the front of it? 5 gold in another day, I could probably make you up something beautiful, a griffin or
My thoughts were actually in league with yours. Could you emblazon this shield with the grandfather tree?
oh, interesting. Let's see if he knows. It's like I believe I can. It's like,
From my home, and I'd like to carry this with me.
and so he kind of is like, all right, come here, and he gets out some paper and he starts kind of sketching what he thinks the tree would sort of look like. He's like, now this is just a rough sketch. He's like, I'm trying to do this real quick to make sure we got the right idea. And he throws you the first one and asks if it's kind of similar.
Yes, this is close.
All right, here, and he shuffles the papers around and he draws out another. Like, what's different about it? Thicker? Is there more roots, wider branches? He's trying to get a sense of. Like, is it deciduous? Did I get it wrong? He's like, is it a conifer?
No, you have the tree type correct. We just try to give the tree a look of wisdom, if you know what
Yes.
I mean.
I think I
Well,
do. And for another 5 gold, I believe I can work that in. Just maybe an extra half day. Give me a chance.
Sure.
You'll be very satisfied.
I think we can work. I think I can work that out. So I owe him how much?
17 plus 5,
22.
22,
22.
22 gold.
All right.
All right.
For
Like, it's a
Druid
deal.
friendly.
Shakes your hand and then kind of like looks down at his a little bit. Like,
For your artisan personalized vegan shield.
Dude, this thing's made out of fucking rich ass mahogany. I'm fucking stoked.
Artisan.
it's gonna be pretty. You could tell from the rest of his work, that it'll be when you get it, it will be polished, clean, and shiny.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you give him the 22 gold, he'll go ahead and get to work. Bump you up in front of all his other projects.
Got it. I gave it to him.
All right,
I
deal.
removed it from my inventory already.
You're set. Also, I totally drew a card out of this list that says Chad. It was gonna be the name of the elf family, and I just was like, no.
Let's just shuffle that back into the deck.
Yeah, like nope.
Or
Chad can be
shuffle
someone
it into a
else.
different deck.
That's gonna be the
Chad.
next necromancer.
Yeah, Chad, brother of Brad. Anyways,
Yes.
okay, so yeah, you conduct your business there, and he starts to get to work, and then I think you guys head over to the miners' exchange. If I remember
Yeah, so
correctly.
Taliesin so there was no explosions, and Taliesin walks out with an oddly smug smile, and I decide not to comment further, and we just keep walking.
Oh, I'm so stoked about this fucking shield I'm about to get.
I'm stoked that you asked about woodworker. I'm like, there's been one in the town the whole time. All right, yeah, but you guys head over to the miners'
It's like, oh, I
exchange.
see you have a Deku shield.
You guys head over
Deku
to the
shield was
miners'
not made out of mahogany.
But it was made with
But,
timeless
sorry.
craftsmanship.
Deku
Yes.
tree. Yeah, but and you guys head over to the miners' exchange. Enter in. You find Halia there. She is uh, exchanging some goods with some miners. They seem to have found found a location that had some items, and they're bartering with her for these look like silver goblets and different pieces that they're trying to barter with her about. And she sees you and gives you guys a like 1 second gesture and kind of conducts business with them. If you listen in, you notice that she's still despite her seeming exhaustion, she's still quite the silver tongue, and manages to make an exchange with them for silver for the silver goods that they've gotten out.
So they're not worth their weight.
Right, she basically traded them for their weight, but they're they're worth more based on the antiques that they are. But yeah, as you go in, there might be some other customers in, but you can go talk to her if you like.
I'm gonna
Or-
go ask her how she's doing and offer her a ration.
I'll get in line.
Oh,
I have genuine business.
oh, thanks, granola. And she eats it, and his mood changes a little bit. And she's like, "Actually, yes, thank." And she consumes it. She initially wasn't thankful when once she realized she was getting food, she was a little bit happier.
And then I'm gonna give her the jar with the preservatives in it. I'm just gonna like
Maybe-
kind of set that on the table and be like, I
The
don't
jar
know
with the
what to
like
Give her
do
the
with
jar
this.
of the fairy corpse and teeth.
No, not that jar. The other
that's
jar.
his jar. That's
The
his
jar
precious
that you got
family
with like the vinegar and mixture stuff in it,
Yeah, I'm just gonna set it on the table and be like, here. I don't know.
and it's a jar big enough to hold a head,
Yeah.
and like you're just gonna set it there. And are you
Well,
gonna say anything? Or you
yeah,
just gonna give her a look.
I'm gonna give her a look and then I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, we may be in a bit of a hurry. Turns out we're kind of responsible for a kid going to play adventurer, so we've got to go look for Pip. He's missing. Otherwise, I would have just taken this to your house.
She looks at you, she's like, "How very noble of you. Thank you,
Mind you,
thank you for this." She goes, "Do I owe you anything for the jar? How much do I owe you for the jar?"
We'll have dinner sometime. I'll make you treat.
She kind of laughs.
That
Maybe
is something
we'll.
you would think.
It's like maybe you can buy me dinner. Slides the jar down on the counter.
I give her the finger gun. I'm like, as always, such a shrewd negotiator.
She does look over at Novak, and then the last customer, and she like, looks at her eye, taps at her eye, taps at them, gives you a little like quiet mark about it. She's gesturing to you for something, but there's still a couple other people in the shop that are they were waiting in line, and you guys kind of walked up to the counter, and then just kind of like, oh,
I'm waiting in line.
Azita will
yeah, you
speak
are.
up. Azita will speak up and be like, "We could run that jar by your house real quick if you'd like."
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. She gets the jar back up out of the counter, gives it over to you. Do you think you could deliver its contents for me, or do you think, or am I, or should I send word to have this
We could,
mixture picked up?
we could make sure everything intact gets delivered to where it needs to be delivered.
She's like, all right. Let me get you a writ of transit, and she, gets out. She's got a pile of scrolls and things behind the counter. Gets a piece of paper, and she's essentially like writing out something. Folds it up in a letter, and gives a quick judgment on whether she's going to give this to Azita or. And she leans over to Novak. She's like, "Can I entrust you to get this to Tribor?"
Novak takes it and says, "Of course," and slides it into her bag, secured.
Thank you. Um, yeah, she would have folded it up. She's like, you could put the seal on. She doesn't. She doesn't seal it for you so that you can read the letter. And yeah, she's like, "Well, if you don't mind me for just one moment, gentlemen, I believe you had something here." And she does a little business conducting with them. They've got a few ignits, or just really like lumps of silver that they've brought in, and she is, does the whole weighing it on the scale, gives her an idea, tells them how much it would be, if they had smelted it versus what she's got, and does another exchange with them, and kind of works them out of the place. And then as they exit, she's like, "If you don't mind, just throwing the latch down real quick." Asks one of you to latch the door with the bar.
I mean, whoever's closest probably will.
So then, yeah, she's like, "All right." She's like, "All right, now that all that's taken care of," she's like, "What's?" She's like, "What's going on?" She's like, "They already came and told me what the doppelganger had to say." She's like, "Is there new news? Like, is there anything else?"
I was like, ooh. Oh, my next.
She's like, "I will tell you." She's like, "I will tell you if she's like, "I'll take the head, and I can give you guys, um, 200 gold right now for me to deliver it. Um, if you want to deliver it, you can claim what they'll give you there in Tribor for it, and then move it on along to the rest of our agents, likely in Yartar."
We'll gladly take it ourselves.
She's like, "All right." She's like, "And it's in the hands of the Zentrum." She's like, "But I do feel that for your work, that I should make sure that the job is paid." She's like, "So I'll give you, she's like, I'll give you 50 gold for transporting it to ensure that you get something out of moving this item for."
Okay, so now the question out of character comes up of, do we take the 50 gold split between ourselves, or do we give some of it to them, because we don't know if they're going to go with us yet or not?
This sounds like a Zentrum job, but from the bounties we talked about, they were some of the bounties were in the same direction.
Yeah, the Knolls are.
She is directing this attention to Jerk, Novak, and Azita.
Well, this.
Like,
I mean, out of character, wouldn't we just split it against the Zentrum?
And she's like, "Well, there's three."
Yeah.
She's like, "There's three of you," and she throws in another 10 gold to make it split.
So we each get
to
20
to
gold
transport
to
that.
transport it?
Yeah, you guys would each get 20 if you want to split it that way. It's up to you how you split it, but she's offering it. She knows it's important. She wants it done. She knows that they're gonna pay. They would probably pay her 200 for it, but
like
all
just in
things
terms of-
considered, she's not particularly interested in doing the work
like if you
herself.
take, I would suggest in terms of math, you just take the bag because 60 is a number that goes 3, 4, 5, or 6 ways easily, and we can talk about it later. Even.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So I'll put it under others for the time being, and we'll discuss how we're going to split that another day.
She slides it over to Novak.
Okay, so Novak.
Very much pockets that. And I promise, I'll let
You guys can talk about it. But you guys can talk about it
later.
Yeah. She has confidence in Novak. She does mention too. She goes. So I think you both might find that if Jerk continues to travel with, if you continue to travel with Jerk, that he is he's a sound warrior, he's skillful, and I believe he's earned his place as a member of the Zentrum. But I know that we need to vote as a family about that sort of thing. Now she's talking directly to Novak and Azita.
Novak would look at her, narrow eyes, like, "Do you trust him?"
So Halia, she goes,
Yeah.
I do. He's always been very straightforward, and sometimes maybe a little too straightforward, but I certainly do trust him. So she's kind of putting it out on the table for you guys to like. She's in her way implying, I feel like he should be
An
allowed in,
agent.
and that her vote is a yes. So between the two of you, since you have agents there to select it, then she's putting it down like her vote is the yes vote. You guys can kind of go your way. You can hold off on how you feel until
I mean,
she's implying that.
we could travel with him amongst this next mission we're about to do, and at the end of it, we'll determine. We already know we have your vote. All you need is one more. The other is always there to validate.
She's like, well, she's like, I can't. I don't really know how I can thank you all enough for rescuing me. And as much as I'm paying them to transport these goods to the rest of the organization, I feel that Fandolin, the Miners Exchange, and myself personally owe you. And she goes back down and to the same thing. And she hasn't been going to her safe. She's literally had these like available and pre-planned to like go ahead and give out. And she gives you guys there's 6. She gives you or no, but there were 5 of her. So she gives you 100 gold for sparkle motion for rescuing her. She's like, it's a small bit that I can do right now as I need to keep the business running. She's like, but I just want to thank you, like for rescuing me. I know it was kind of circumstantial, but it's appreciated. And actually,
That's
I lied. I'm sorry. It's not 100 gold. It's 100 gold's worth of gemstones.
All right, and she gave this to who?
I mean, Jerk's the
She
one
get
up at the counter.
All right.
she gave it to Jerk, but and specifically mentions it to motion for rescuing her.
Okay.
So
It's
though
100.
she's hiring you 3
A
to
bag of
transport the head.
gemstones worth 100 gold.
A bag of gemstones worth 100 gold. She's got goods coming in now, and she has access to some of the and trade it in, but she's holding on to the gold for the rest of it.
Cool.
Azita will inquire about if there's any magical weapons that have come through that might be up for sale.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Is that a
that's
thing?
a thing with the Zenrum.
Are there other weird caves that people are getting stuff out of?
It's a thing with the miners exchange. So when people do go,
It's been a thing
when
even
people
as
go
Sparkle
go out
Jump.
into the mines and they find out where they come back in, like she's willing to pay for stuff as soon as she can identify things.
How?
Spending time with it like the rest of you do.
Oh, fair.
Let's see.
Magical armor, anything like that.
She does go through, and I've got a short list of things. Yeah, I have a short list. Let's see. I'm gonna do. All right, Azita, you asked about it.
Yes.
Roll me a d4.
D4. Okay.
Mhm.
Hold up. pull up that tab. 1.
Would you like to spend your inspiration?
One.
No, it's okay.
Um,
Unless this item's trash, then yes.
Would you let her spend her inspiration?
if she wants to, she can. She's actually from amongst some of the items that were brought in. There was this ring, and she comes up with it, and it's about this large. It's magical item. It's in the shape of a rodent wrapped around its tail. Its face goes from the back, and the tail wraps around. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. A little. If you lower it a bit more, we could see it easier.
Lower.
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 Okay, that's a ring that looks like a rat with its tail
Yep.
making the band.
Yeah. So she's like, someone brought this in this, or no, this was in the. She's like, this was in the safe. One of the things they've been traveled through. Seems like the doppelganger had redirected most of the other goods that were coming in, but this was still here. They apparently didn't have a chance to set it out. It's like one of the odd things I found is that you can speak to rats while attuned to this, but it also seems to make a person uh, seem to be able to hide like rats do, and I believe it increases your stealth. Known as the
How-
Ring of the Rodent.
How much is she asking for it?
Oh yeah, I'm on this. I have a table. I don't remember where I put the table. I'm gonna do it for cost. 5e. This kind of applies as a similar way that the Handy Artar would trade their trade items for. With this, it's pretty powerful in the way that it lets you move around undetected. So probably this is easily worth 200 gold for her on the market.
No Zenturium mage in discount?
Do you want to try and persuade her?
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can. I'm not proficient in this, but yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to try
okay.
it.
But I want you to say, so what do you? That's what you're like. What? No Zender mage at discount? And then go ahead and roll me a persuasion. And I'll roll versus her insight. Oh,
16.
she rolled really high on it.
Inspiration against her
persuasion.
die. Re-roll that crap.
You want to
I
try and reroll
wouldn't-
higher than
I wouldn't. I wouldn't bother. Yeah, but being a good DM here. She's like, it's one of those things that it's quite valuable, like on the market. She's like, and I'm just getting back into business. I don't know if I could really part with it for any less than this.
Well, I want to step. Am I there for this?
Yeah, you
Well,
guys are
yeah.
all
Okay.
you guys are all there.
Well, I'm going to step in and ask her, would you think it'd be willing to? I have this lucky coin.
You what? Really?
It has one charge left. So how about a trade for this and 50 gold?
She picks up the coin. She's like, well, I'd have to probably study this for a while. Exactly what it does. She's like, what are you telling me that it does? Does it makes you lucky?
Yes.
Where's it from? What is it?
It was blessed by the goddess Timora.
Oh,
It was like
gives it a look over. She's like, if I spend some time with this, she's like, I can give you an idea of how much I'd be willing to knock off the price for this piece.
okay. Yeah, and it was, just for the record, it was blessed by Tybora. I tossed it in the will, and she gave it back to me.
That's one of
You
those
say it
things.
as one use left.
Yes. It's gotten my ass out of a jam twice now.
Like, all right, well, let me get a sense of it, and if you want to come back later, I'll tell you how much. I'll tell you how much I'd be willing to trade back for it.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's a good persuasion roll. God, I wish I didn't have such a high contesting charisma check.
No, it's
Totally
fine.
would have been discounted. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's
Hmm.
fine.
She's shrewd. She's shrewd.
I know. Azita will kind of pull Novak aside since she has the jar to see if Novak will take the head out of her bag and stick it in the jar and stick the entire jar back into her bag.
You you put. It's like, I don't know if you guys. I didn't know you guys are carrying that. So if I see this,
Well, like I said, she's going
it's
to
a bit odd.
pull Novak
Yeah,
aside.
door's locked. You guys are in a room privately. Just the seven.
No, it's just always unnerving.
Well, yeah, anybody holding a head is going to be unnerving.
As it should be.
Yeah. So if it looks like those three are done with their business,
Yeah.
I would
So
like to step forward.
me and Azita will be off to the side, covertly putting
All right.
his head into it.
I wanna sleight a hand check from Novak to see how well she quietly does this, and see if Godwald sees it and is grossed out. If you bear to, he's not gonna be into it if he sees it. What's your passive?
17.
17?
It's my casting stat.
It's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be 18 because I got
So
a
she
plus
does.
2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that means
So
one moment they're holding the
they
jar,
kind
the
of
second moment they're not holding the jar at all.
they just kind of like slide the jar off the table. Zito's size, combined with Novak's swiftness, is able to like have something happen. You just kind of see the jar go. I see.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
Oh,
you're good.
man. Out of character, I just thought of a really mean thing we could do to Godwald.
Mm.
Out of character doesn't involve the body parts.
Yeah, totally does.
Okay.
Well,
So Halia basically asks like, well, I feel like we've done quite a bit of business here. Are you all sticking around? I heard you
I have
gonna go chase some kid off.
I
Off
have
where?
I have two pieces of business.
Oh, please. What can I help you with?
First, I have this small pouch that has 9 gemstones I took off the black spider's death.
Oh, okay. What are the gemstones marked value on?
I only ever got 9 gemstones as part of a list of a dozen things.
Oh shit! I feel like. All right, let me this sheet. Spider. Is in. No, that's not her. It's not.
Like,
Oh, nope. Must be in the Fandolin.
like I heard the story about her business after the doppelganger stuff. So like, she can have them. Honestly, I just wanted to get them to the right place, into the system. And also, it's another spite to the
Oh.
black spider. So
Well, she's definitely going to offer you an exchange. This is literally her business. So she will get. So if you pull it out, you said it had 9 items in it. This was
it was like with the
okay.
incense and the prayer book and stuff.
They're worth 10 gold each. So she will offer you. She'll offer you 5 each,
Sure.
just off the bat. Okay, yeah. So mark those off then, and you have 5 gold.
Okay. And I mark that off. And I wanted to ask. I thought an appraiser would be the person to ask if there was a way I could get a scroll of identify. Because if she deals with items the natural way, Maybe there's somewhere else that needs to do it in a hurry.
Well, I haven't seen anything myself, but I could definitely not only keep an eye out, but maybe send word. You've all done so much for me. I could
Hmm.
definitely see if I can obtain it. Um, scrolls are scrolls are typically expensive. Magic is, especially the kind of magic that might let uh, an average person like myself use it in such a way. Should be scrolls. I think identify as a
It's a first level spell.
first level.
It would take 50 GP of materials to make that. With time, I'd be willing to go up to like 120.
I say it's probably 100. So she's like she
Yeah,
guesstimates that she could get it for 100. Um,
I'd certainly be
but
willing to pay that.
she's willing to send word out and see if someone can get something sent this way. She has no idea how long it might take or if it can be
That's fair.
found, but she's absolutely willing to try and find that for you.
Thank you.
Certainly. She asks, I know that Nesnar was a wizard of sorts. Have you investigated his spell book to see if there's anything that in there that might be of interest to you, or if you
Hmm.
want to sell the spell book?
It's locked. I'd like to.
Ah, I did have an idea about that while we're in private.
Okay,
Jerk. You
absolutely.
have his you have his signet ring, don't you?
Yep.
We could try that on the lock because it didn't seem to open normally.
Okay. Should
Okay,
we
so you like
try
take
it
the book
So
now?
out
yeah,
right
I'd
here.
like to get out the book and have you get out the ring and press the ring to the lock and see if that does anything at all.
Absolutely. I'll do that now then.
Like right now,
Sure.
just at a table,
Right.
because I don't really know. Just
So
a thought.
as you just press the ring against the book, against the lock on the book, you don't see that anything happens. But if you do like pull at it a little bit, roll me a perception. So like if you just like press it, no, and you pull on it like afterwards to see if it unlocked it,
14.
What is my
you
perception?
you notice that that the like flat part of the lock that's up against it, you guys don't see any kind of like key or anything. But as you do pull on the bit, it looks like it would be a latch. It does sort of seem to light up runes, sort of move and glow.
I don't know why it rolled 2.
Let's just take the first roll. That's a total of 10, so
Yeah.
nothing new.
Yeah. So, but you do notice that there does seem to be a magical element to the lock.
Hmm.
It's certainly not an electrical light, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so once runes start glowing,
Hmm.
My only question
It's like
is
me at a
like,
table with a jerk. Like, would you like to? Do you think we should consult Holly on this?
uh,
She's handled the most magic items out of all of us, probably.
yeah, we can consult her, but I kind of want to keep it around because I think it'll be useful for the party.
Certainly, that would be a different discussion.
Okay. So yeah, I'll ask her if she's got any idea about it.
So yeah, I'm willing to say what just happened and
hmm
bring the book and the ring over to the table,
sure.
to the bench.
As she looks at it, looks through, she goes, "Just like, well, it's yeah, it's probably some kind of arcane lock. Um, if you knew any kind of spellcasters, perhaps someone knows a spell. I've heard of such magics, things like that actually a dispel spell that undoes magical spells. That might be your safest option for opening it.
Hmm.
I don't know that you couldn't necessarily get it either with a physical case, but I'd be weary of failing an attempt to open it
Hmm.
without dispelling the magics around it.
Would that also?
Wizards seem to be
Hmm.
very you know closely guard their arcane
Hmm.
secrets. I would wager this is
Uh,
a trap of some kind.
In
out
speculation,
of character. Did I go with? I went with you guys, right?
I think you've all been going together. Place
yeah,
to
I'd
place.
say you would have come with us after the woodwork.
I can dispel magic.
I would affecting the magic on the lock harm the contents of the book? Would you speculate?
Not if I'm just targeting the lock.
I asked Kalia.
I'm not an arcane expert. So, I mean, well, more than most, I suppose. Probably, I wouldn't consider myself an authority, but if you're dispelling the spell that locks it, your guess is as good as mine.
Fair enough. Then, sure, I would present the book. I put the book back down on the table, and if you'd like to try, if you'd be willing to try, I would appreciate that, Allison.
Sure.
Do
I
you
cast
really want
dispel magic on the lock spell.
touching the lock itself?
Just pops open. You see the runes just kind of like dissipate and all sort of burst into dust as they go off, and the book is now.
Yay!
All right, so I'll just.
I'd like to immediately start reading this book.
Yep, that
I say
is
what?
that is your
Sure.
book
What
now,
language is it?
Taliesin, and
You
you're
start.
welcome.
Wait, what?
I said that
I'm not
is-
much of a. I'm not one for book learning.
or not
somebody
Taliesin.
else
I meant
can-
Godwald.
Yeah.
That's your book
Godwald.
now, and you're welcome.
You can have that. You can have that as payment for giving me my arms and skin back.
It's a pretty good trade.
I'll just give you a
Yeah.
few frantic nods and then put my
Wait.
back in the book.
Taliesin, how are you giving him something that I have in my possession?
Is this book in
He
code?
unlocked it. His
I'm
servant.
the
Yeah.
only.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
It's like
It was
So, like-
useless until I unlocked it.
just at a glance, is this
It
in
was-
a language I understand?
It was dangerous until you unlocked it.
Oh.
Hold on a second. Let me see where I do it. But yeah, you did successfully dispel a spell that would have been bad had you failed it open. So good job. Good job. on
Okay. I changed Black Spider spellbook from locked to unlocked.
that. Yeah, there you go. Let me find the stupid thing. I know what this one is. I have it written down. What language is this book in?
It's in Goblin. I'm just kidding.
If it's in like Draconic or Undercommon or something again,
I think it's Undercommon because it's his spell book and he was a
Drow.
drow. It is.
okay, then
Undercommon.
that's gonna need
That
to
is it.
sit down and remember and to comprehend languages, and we've spent enough time here. I can do this later.
Okay.
Just
I
sit
will-
down in the middle of Holly's shop for like
Like,
10
there-
hours.
There's probably other business.
Is
today.
that what do you
I'm
have
just
to do? What do you have to do for?
It'll take me
Just-
11 minutes to. It'll take me 10 minutes to
Minutes?
cast, sitting,
What
casting.
are the components for casting that spell?
Oh, I can do it through my focus.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's not consumed or valuable, you're good.
Yep, nope, there's no cost. But it would take me 10.1 minutes to sit down and cast. And I can do it now if we're all not going to move on yet. If we're all excited about this book that just opened.
No, not really.
Because, like, the alternative is going and talking to Pip's mom.
Well, that's pretty much what we got to do is talk to Pip's
And then out
mom,
of
or-
character, we can do the book now and then do the Pip's mom thing at the start of next session.
I'm interested
how
to
late we're
see
going.
what the book says, if it can help us in any way. I gain nothing from this book, although our local cleric here may gain something.
All right, so I'm hearing that Godwall sit down for 10 minutes. Perhaps
he wants-
while
I'll do it.
while you guys are
I
conversing.
think Oz
what
is
you do
trying
next.
to also call the session, is what he's saying. Nah.
Well, not now, but in the next, like
soon.
in the next hour. And if we go and have another longer talk, that might take time. And
Well, I think our business in town is pretty much wrapped up, other than talking to the mother.
yeah, but that could go on to lead to other
Why
things.
do-
because we're
why
gonna
does
be
this-
I
trying-
have multiple orders in town that I so
Well, I mean, like, as far as, like, spending the night or whatever, and then heading picking up everything.
I've been
I have received this
shopping.
DM.
You have. Godwald, those are the spells in Nesnar's spell book that you sit down, you perform your dragon-based Bahamut ritual, and the power of Bahamut compels you. You're able to comprehend languages. And you know that those are the spells in the book.
Hmm. I go back over to this cross section.
I think out of it, there are 2 on there that you can translate as a ritual.
Lay down, bub.
Your
Lay down.
ritual spellcasting.
Well, I double checked the feat, and it is in fact even more limited than that.
Is it really?
I can only transcribe rituals on the wizard spell list.
Oh, well, those are all in the wizard spell list.
It says that
So they have to be ritual spells. It can't be
it says
instant cast
purify
spells.
food and drink isn't on the list.
What BS? It's the whole reason I
Because
put it in
it's not a
It
ritual
says it's
spell.
a
I mean, it
cleric
can be
druid
if the
spell.
DM says it is.
But yeah, sure, if you're willing.
It is.
I need an actual house ruling to say, yeah, you can get whatever ritual you get your hands on.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give you this one. I'm gonna give you
Sure.
purify food and drink, because the whole reason I put it in the spell book was because it's there in the
He's
way
a-
that you gave.
He's a suspicious, and he's a suspicious Stroud noble. It's a good spell
Yeah.
to have.
Yep. So, yeah, you can have both of those. We'll
Sure.
open that up to you. My intent was for you to have these things.
Yes, I acknowledge this.
Awesome.
I acknowledge that these spells are added to the list of spells I could ritual book.
Cool.
And with this knowledge, I'd stop reading halfway through, and I would tell Halia that I no longer need that inquiry, that this will do just fine for the identify.
All right. Well, she says, "I'll save the money on the crow, and I'm glad you were able to find what you needed here."
And I'm going to mark this
Oh,
down
sh-
as a thing. I'm going to mark this down as a thing to do back in. Actually,
Be back at home.
how will I get the materials for this?
You need a
Oh,
pearl worth 1,000 gold
No,
pieces every
before
time you cast
not
it
even to
as a
cast it, just to
ritual.
write it in. And that's also not a consumed material.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't
Wait,
say
what are you talking about?
the spell
In which
consumes.
spell? What are you
It
talking
says
about?
So identify does have the way I
it
would
has
cast
a
it, a material
material
cost
component and a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces.
as
It
a
is not
component for,
consumed. It would say consumed if it was consumed.
but that would be a thing that I would need by the system.
Yes, you would. You will need to find a pearl.
And I can talk that out with the exchange another time.
Certainly.
But
What do you guys want to kind of do from here, from the moment, right? Like, are we? This is where you want to call it for the evening. Bring, see if we get Bear back in next week. Do you want to keep moving forward? Are you gonna keep talking to people in town?
If people want to stop and we wait for Pubert, that's fine with me. Or if we want to, I don't know how far it's, gonna.
I
If we have to
figured we
travel
just-
out to go get little Timmy from the well.
Fun fact: Timmy never actually fell down a well in Lassie, but he did fall down 3 mine shafts, which is more
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a fun fact right there.
Well, I vote we try to
Mine
get
shafts
Pew
and
Bear
Lassie.
back next week.
I mean, you guys just Yeah.
I figured we go get the quest started for little
Talk to-
Timmy, like find out where he was at, and then call it, because that shouldn't be more than a 5-minute talk.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. What do you
Oh
guys think?
shit! Is this the lady I danced with?
Kaylee?
Yes, this is
Yeah.
Pop Pip's
No.
mom.
No, okay, different. I just remember that she was a widow. I can't remember.
Why did you just say yes? I don't understand.
I didn't say yes.
She
I
did.
did. I
Oh.
thought it was.
Y'all silly.
You know, ridiculous. All right, Kaylee Adderleaf is someone you know and have met, and oh my gosh, I think actually on your list of people who you know,
Yep.
your friendly NPCs, you have Kayleen Adderleaf and Carp Adderleaf.
Oh, I danced with Myrna Dengrar.
Myrna.
And her son was named Pip. Carp is Kayleen's son. But basically, yeah, if you guys leave here, conversations to have here before good.
Wait, so I'm sorry. Pip is the one missing, though, right?
Well, you have a note from Kayleen that says, "My son and his 2 friends have left the village to become adventurers. Find them and teach them the error of their ways. Reward if they return."
Oh hell yeah! Totally fine in Pip.
It's a good chance that it's Pip.
Yeah,
But
it's a
if
good
you go
chance
talk,
it's Pip, Carp, and somebody else.
yeah, another boy in town.
I mean, how likely is it the 2 brothers are friends?
Again, kids about the same age. Feels
I
like a
mean,
thing.
they could be
I mean-
rivals.
Yes.
But so if you guys do go over to, and it's Kayleen, who is the elderly lady living there in Fandolin, goes through. Let's see what you might remember about Kayleen before you go there. Was I had the town NPCs up too and moved it for the other piece. Kayleen is a halfling, and her son Carp is the one who actually, yeah, her son Carp is the one who helped you find your way into Brand's hideout, now Tresendar Manor. She'll go ahead. Basically, if you arrive, you inquire about the bounty. I won't make this super long. She goes through, unless you want me to roleplay it. Do you want to do it, or I feel like I'm tired, and so I'm projecting, and I
I'm also
apologize.
tired.
Just tell us what
Okay.
happens.
We can keep this
Hey.
business like.
Kayleen basically lets you know. She's like, "Yep." She's like, "My son Carp, Pip, and Chad all ran
Chad.
off. All ran off after this bounty about moles and tribe. I think that's the one, right?
It was moles.
Yeah.
Tribor's far as fuck.
I mean, but there's a well-established, well-traveled trail that people hear about here because of traders passing
Is it
through.
the Tribor Trail?
It is.
You know, you didn't even need your other 2 guesses.
Right. So so she lets you know that the 3 boys were talking about becoming adventurers. She's a little upset that someone has given the idea that it's a good idea to go and become adventurers.
Yeah, that sounds pretty irresponsible. I don't know who.
Yeah. I can't remember what thing it was you gave the kid, but she knows that you gave him. So if Taliesin, you're there, she's like, I feel like you should,
I feel like I gave
definitely
him.
feel like you're responsible for this, and my boys need to be safe. She's like,
I'm not
she's
sure
like
what you're talking about.
It's
they
like
might be getting into something well over their heads. I know that they're the age of young men, so they're about 15. She's like, but I just don't think that they're ready. And she is, she's willing to give you essentially like any food that they grow in the farm. She also has a golden necklace that you could kind of guesstimate is worth like 50 to 70 gold. and she offers that to you too if you can bring them home. But the important part about it is that you teach them a lesson. They need to be they need to be shown to be afraid of going out into such a dangerous world where goblins are blowing up people's farms. Just like, and she keeps like just like shaking her head like she can't believe that that's the thing that that finally spurred them to go. Just finally to go and the farm's being attacked.
I find them rather brave. I feel like I gave him some sort of necklace or something and told
Yeah, it was
him
something
that
We
I
could check
would
the
like
archives for that.
that.
like bare hands or something. Like
I-
bare
I-
paw.
I gave him a bear paw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
I had a
goblin or an
cave bear
orc.
paw. Turn, and I would teach him the ways of the adventure. If like when I came back, but apparently
then
he
And
was
that
already pieced out.
well,
And
it
then
was
we
two and
were
a half
gone
years
for 2.5
ago, right?
years.
Yeah.
Well,
Not our
he was
fault.
like 12.
Not our fault.
And
And
now
you,
he's
as
like
an elf,
15.
probably meant
Yeah.
like in 5.
Yeah.
And you, as an elf, probably meant like in 5 years or something.
Or
I
something.
mean, hey,
But-
I'm only 57. As an elf, that means I'm like 16.
But the point is, she
It
wants you
shows.
to bring them back. She wants you to scare them. She's like, only if they're alive. She offers a necklace that she has. She doesn't have a lot of gold. She also offers an alternate, like any food that you want from her farm for the rest of time, time immemorial. Like so, just
I mean, this
she
sounds a
will
lot better
offer
than
to feed
granola.
you forever from
Like-
what she grows.
Taliesin
This sounds like a
Talison's-
great deal.
Taliesin sighs and goes, "Whatever you're offering, keep my share of it. I'll go find the boys."
Hmm?
She's like
I
the other mothers and I thank you much. She's appreciative that you're gonna go out there and the whole like just gives you like a maybe he hadn't encouraged them or he wouldn't be going off to go get himself into trouble. She's not necessarily afraid for them like on the trail or something, but she does think that they could easily get themselves into trouble that they can't handle, and so she's pretty worried about them.
Mhm.
I'm sure they're fine. This will be some good for them. They'll learn a lesson.
If they come back alive, so then that's kind
They're
of
fine.
it's kind of how it wraps up.
Yeah.
Is that the end of the session?
Look,
We could
look.
do
I've gotten a bit spoiled.
Oh.
It's like Godwald
thought
and
that's
Drew
what
have
you
gotten a
meant
bit
by
spoiled
that.
with home cooked food the last several days, and we do not want to have to go back to granola. So any preserves we can get from here, like this, would be a great boon.
Oh yeah, no, she's got things with vitamin C.
Yeah.
Like, different foods that you could that don't taste like rain that you guys normally subsist on until you come back to Phandalin and Mama
Yeah.
Bottom feeds you.
This is a good plan.
Or Taliesin finds something in Holly's home.
So, do you, Jerk, or you, Taliesin, want to stay in town to finish your transactions, or can our next discussion be on going on this trip for the bounties?
They went after moles. I feel like they're going to be okay.
But
I would
there's
like to
also
at
other
least-
bounties in the area, like the gnolls, and if they feel like they're good at this.
Hey, just for the record, you remember when we were on the trail and we ran into a hill giant?
I remember that we got scared but alive.
Yes.
I feel like they wouldn't try to attack them.
I
Well,
feel
let's
like
hope they're
you've
not
never
stupid
been
teenagers.
15.
Let's hope
Right?
they're not
Like-
stupid young jerks that tried to throw or shoot an arrow at the hill giant.
Bear, whenever you, it's like Bear. I keep
But I wasn't
picturing
here for
whenever you
that.
do that, Taliesin punctuating his sentences with a puff from a pipe.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Yeah.
that puff is now in the shape of a large mole.
Yes.
I think it's always a dragon.
Yeah,
Isn't
it
it?
usually comes out as a dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my
Fair
pipe
Or is
usually
it any shape? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe
It's
I've gotten
in its
good at
species.
it. If it
Yeah,
does
yeah,
talk to
maybe.
me.
If-
I haven't
Yeah.
talked to it in a little while, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean,
It pretty
I'm-
much like whenever you say like I'm puffing on my pipe, I'm like, God damn it, I need to think of what it says to you because that's what wakes it up.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm alive again. Hey,
I think it's only like a
please
week.
smoke me constantly. Like, I want to be conscious all the time.
I did tell it that I would try to make it not a pipe anymore, but I am totally down to go. I'm more than willing to go get these boys, but I do need some, which is why I made these purchases that I did today. Currently, I am pretty defenseless.
Oh,
That leather, well, except for the fact that you could transform into stuff.
Well, sure.
It kind of makes you the tank when Pubert's not there. But yeah, your armor was supposed to be ready in the right after it dyed and dried,
Yeah.
and the shield was going to take a couple days. So
I thought the shield was going to be like a day and a half or something.
as a rush order, was that 1.5 or 2.5
he added, well, he
I
added
had like a
on.
half day,
for
He
the
added another,
inscription?
yeah, and then another half day for the
so it would be
for the
done
detailing.
by like midday tomorrow, right? Well, no,
So
I guess
You
because
ordered
it's
it around
already
noon.
like the after.
How about 2 sunrises?
I mean, I will go back. I listen to it I listen to the session after every time we do it. I'll go back and tell you exactly what I said.
It's fine. I mean, I guess I can. Taliesin will like crack his neck. I want to do it right now. Ah, there we go.
There you go.
And be like, I mean, I guess I can. Well, these are just moles. We'll be all right. I can. I guess I
Giant
can
moles?
bust out the old bear or something.
I've got my old leathers.
I can put
Like,
those
they're
on
different
for now.
sizes, but it's better
Yeah,
than
I'm not
nothing.
very big. thought I put-
Unusually, yeah, it was there. The boys are going after unusually large moles,
Although I am very young for my race.
but the Lord's Alliance was after a pack of gnolls, which are different. GNOLLS. They're like
Yeah, I know
hyena
what a
people.
knoll is.
Well, I'm saying for everybody. So yes, moles and gnolls.
Knolls are huge. Knolls are like 7 feet tall.
Gnolls are big boys. No,
They can be.
I mean, they're medium-sized creatures.
How tall?
But I mean, you know, Azita's a medium-sized creature too, and she's pretty big.
Knolls in Dungeons and Dragons between 7 and 8 feet tall.
Yes, they're about my height.
They're
I was
fucking huge.
I don't know why, but when I hear Knoll, like my first thought is like a World of Warcraft troll.
They're like hyena. They're like hyena people.
Knolls in World of Warcraft are pretty small. But yeah, no, they are hyena people. They're just
No, like is it the size of a WoW troll?
No, it's like
No.
a little bit taller than a Zeta.
Knolls were in World of Warcraft, but they
trolls.
were short.
All right, guys, this is getting ridiculous. You guys know,
Anyway.
you guys. So collectively, and let's just kind of like chat about this really quick before we're done. You guys now collectively know about a series of things that are happening around Phandalin or in other cities nearby. You have word of things that are happening in Neverwinter and outside of Neverwinter. You know of there's still tasks to finish at the Wave Echo Cave. There are goblins in the Neverwinter Wood yet again, and there are things happening outside of Tribor. So you got a kind of set of things, just generically places you could go, things that you could be doing. It's kind of be up to you to think about it throughout the week about where you want to go and what you want to do, so that maybe next session we can have you guys like set out and go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
My vote is
you-
the Tribor Trail because we've got the kid there, and we've got to make it to Tribor for the head. So
Jerk would also know that Sparkle Gem was headed along the Tribor Trail by way of Tribor to Yartar. So you'd be potentially following after her as well.
Can we get the region map?
Yeah. Which region map? You want the one in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide? Or your Sword Coast?
Our up-to-date one, not our super old ancient times one.
The super old ancient times one
Then-
was
so this
destroyed
is-
with the first cart.
The nice Halia map.
I want the
No,
one
you're
that was
talking
carved on
about-
the side of the first card.
Jesus Christ, you guys! It's gone. Get over it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Our cart. You sure?
Or is it all the way back at the beginning?
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Look at
It
that
doesn't
shit.
have Tribor on it.
That's the only one
Nope.
that I trust.
Yeah, right here.
Like,
Right. That away.
I don't think our. I mean,
Just
our
the
cart's
end
not
of-
destroyed. It's somebody has it.
No,
Yeah,
the cart
somebody
says at Barthen's.
No, our original
No,
cart
different-
is
Different cart, different
it's
cart. But I think you were talking about
Oh.
this one so that you could see places.
Yes.
yeah, this is the one that's in your Sword Coast Adventurers guide.
Yeah. So that one on the left. You know that
We're over here.
Phandolin's
that
about
makes
here.
sense, yeah.
Phandolin's about here. It's a couple days travel to Neverwinter. It's a couple days travel to Tribord.
Which is over this
about
way is where
Only about a
Sparkle
day
Gem was
from
heading.
Tribord to Yartar. Yeah, Sparkle Gem was headed to Yartar, and then was gonna head out from there.
Cool.
Which Jerk knows. So yeah. So keep it in mind if you guys come up with anything. You're like, oh shit, I really wanted to look for a fucking cat of nine tails or something. Just let me know throughout the week. You know,
A
so
cat
that
of
way we don't-
nine
we don't-
tails.
I don't know. Just like
South
the
of
first
Zealand
thing that
of
came to head.
bondage.
Jerk, if you want to be able to
Wait,
get
can I
sneak
use
attack
that as a weapon?
from,
Let me check something.
like
A
Jerk,
whip?
if you buy a whip,
It
you
would
can
do
get
a
sneak
whip.
attack from 10 feet away.
I had a whip. Nick got taken from me right away.
You want a new
Azita's a
one?
dominatrix.
Wait, what happened to your whip?
He lost it.
Yeah.
Did you use it as a rope and then
No.
leave it behind?
No, he traded it for entry to get into the Sleeping Giant Inn.
Yeah, they made
that's
me
right.
they made me
Is
give
that
him a
Chris-
weapon.
Whip should be on the list of martial
Oh,
melee
yeah.
weapons at the coster.
It was. That's where I bought it the first time.
And they might
It
have another one
was.
after 2.5 years.
That's true.
I was
There's a
really
reason-
excited about that whip too.
If you guys come up with stuff throughout the week that you wanted to do in town or something, let me know. We'll work it out so that it happened during this session and not that we don't have to do any more shopping. We're good.
Let's see, I want.
Hey, you
mana-
guys have spent a
so
whole session shopping. I get to do it too.
I'm supposed to go back home, check on Gundren, and get like healer's kit pouch.
Okay, we'll
from the
just
priestess.
we'll just do it throughout the week. Message me, but we'll
Sure.
put it if it's party stuff. Feel free to put it in the party chat, and I'll talk about it there. If you
Yeah.
want to do it more like personally, just direct message me, and I'll
Yeah, I'll
I'll answer
DM you
them
back
throughout
some
the
stuff
week
at the
there.
spellbook too, Ellie, but it can wait until not today.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, good night, internet.
Good
Good
night.
night,
Water.
Internet.
Be